Hello everyone, and welcome to Warriors of Waterdeep, the Anvil of Dumathoin. How's everyone doing tonight? Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Chris, I'll be your Dungeon Master for tonight, and we're thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. So, what are we doing? We're playing Dungeons and Dragons. More specifically, we're playing a Dungeons and Dragons campaign based on the popular video game Warriors of Waterdeep. What? I mean, this is episode 4? 4. This is episode 4 out of 8, so we're basically halfway. So thank you for joining us on this journey, and if you're just joining us now, you can probably catch everything on Catch Up. We have the ODs available on YouTube and stuff, so you can search back. There'll be links in chat right now. Anyway, for those of you who don't know what we're doing, Dungeons & Dragons is a tabletop role-playing game where we roll 20-sided dice and use said 20-sided dice to work out what we are doing. We're basically improvising, telling stories, and we roll dice to find out where things might be a bit more random or interesting. People have character sheets. They're based on the characters from the game. They are the characters from the game. Exactly. And you should be able to see them on the left-hand side of your screen on the D&D Beyond overlay if you're watching live on Twitch. So, yes. That's the right there. Yes, you can see all these lovely characters, and we'll tell our story and continue from where we left off last time, when they had just vanquished the fire giant Harkald Firesworn. Harkald Firesworn, that's right, yeah. Which was the first boss from the game. So, well done, everyone. Congratulations.
Got the same colour hair as Anna, currently.
Yeah, that is correct, he does. Anyway, I play everything else they encounter, and I also roll 20-sided dice, so I don't get to just do whatever the heck I want, and thus we tell our story together. But why don't we go around and meet all of our lovely players and their characters? So, if you'd please give your name, your pronouns if you wish, your character's name, their pronouns, and why don't you tell us today who your favourite character is in Warriors of Waterdeep? I'll start. My favourite character is Thomas. And the reason Thomas is my favourite character is because Thomas is an adorable little chonker and is also like the most useful character in game because tanking, the best tank, just the most amazing tank. It's really great.
Rude.
Well, that's how I feel.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how I'm starting. I'm also Chris, and I use they them pronouns. Let's go round the table. Edward.
Hello. I kind of wish you hadn't come to me first because I can't remember the name of my favourite character.
We'll come then. We can work it out, don't worry.
Okay. I am Ed. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Halvanet Soladano. Soladano. Something like that.
Soladano.
Every time.
Soladano.
Okay.
That's
it's not
what
become
I
a thing then.
said.
It's a Soladano, which is...
Anyway, they use they, them pronouns. They are a wonderful character, and I'm enjoying playing them thoroughly, if only because it means I get to be, what's the word? Old school, I suppose. But yes, the character, if I can just find it.
Describe it.
It's the where have you gone?
What's their class, Ed?
Darwin. There we go.
Yeah,
the Ranger.
Sarvin's great. Sarvin's
Dragonborn
amazing.
Ranger.
I very much would like to be a Dragonborn. It doesn't work, and I could get surgery, but I'm not going to.
Got weird.
Expensive.
There was somebody, wasn't there? I did always want to have my tongue sliced. But
Yeah,
the
you
thing
can.
is
There's the snake person and the cat person, yeah.
But it's the thing of, like, I would like to do that, but as a person who lives by my voice, I feel like putting myself out of commission for 6 months would be a shame.
That seems a very wise decision, Ed. I approve this message.
Really?
But
I still want to do it, though.
do it when you're older. It doesn't matter anymore.
True. True.
Emma.
I don't know how to follow that. Hi.
How about describing your character and not saying you want to turn yourself into them? That might be a good starting point.
I mean, but I would be my character if I could.
Oh.
I'm Emma. I use the pronouns Em or Emma. I'm playing Shivarith, who is the most amazing wizard who's ever wizarded. Sorry, George.
It's not even here.
She is amazing and really powerful and cool, and she's obviously my favourite character because she kills everybody every time. I have Shivarith's silver hand weapon, which is amazing, and injures everybody, and it's just great. It's the best.
Cool.
I love all the other characters too, but just not quite as much.
Well, I mean, it's quite good that you're playing your favourite character. That's worked out very well, hasn't it? Good stuff. Anna.
Okay, hello. Sorry, I had to think about this. Oh, every time. Hello, my name's Anna. My pronouns are he, she, and they, and I'm playing Coriolis, whose pronouns are she and her. And my favourite character from Warriors of Waterdeep that I have unlocked so far is Joppa.
Joppa.
Because
Really?
it's such a strong and specific energy to wear a green dress and lace-up sandals and a little red hat and carry a fishing rod. I just think he's the coolest, and I wish I could be more Joppa in my life.
Well, interestingly, Joppa's based on a character that someone else played in a stream. I've forgotten who it was. That's very embarrassing. But yes, he played him in a stream, and all of that was designed by him for his monk, all built in there.
Amazing.
It's just, I actually have a little red hat that since I've started playing, I've been like, it's my Joppa hat. So.
That's really cute. That's really good. But yeah, Sarvin's based off a comic book. I think that's where Sarvin first appeared. But yeah.
Right.
The things you know. Lovely.
Hello, I am Nat. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Thomas, who uses he, him pronouns. I do love Thomas. He's a very, very special place in my heart, but I think out of the characters that I've unlocked, it's probably Shivaris, because again, I have her geared up and she just destroys everything. Although it's now slightly traumatic, as I was saying in our group chat, because when I play PvP, now I'm like using Shivaris to like destroy other people's Thomases, and it's upsetting.
Yeah.
Wow, side effects. We didn't even think that would be a side effect of this, but yeah, that's really...
It's hard. It's hard killing Thomas. It hurts every time.
No, it doesn't. Right.
Yes.
It's just because my Thomas is such a badass, all the other Thomas are just imitating. Right, Naomlin.
Wow.
Well, my name is Niall. I use he, him. I play Naomi. We use she, her. And my favourite character is Aridin on Warriors of Waterdeep. I love me a warlock. And I'll be honest, I used to have Aridin as my like top leveled up character just per chance. So I was trying to level up Naomlin because I was like, my girl needs some love. And Shivaris was like, again, a close second. Shivaris is very useful. But there's something about having eye bite and playing the challenge rooms at really low levels. And you get like a full room and there's like 6, 7 goblins and kobolds, and just pressing eye bite and killing them all in one go is very like next room.
I think the Faraday has my favourite piece of like clothing in the game, which is the back of head tiara, which is such a cool design piece.
Strong move, yeah.
And I love how their reach with their wand is just like
Whole battlefield.
Like it's mental. Doesn't matter where they are. Boom.
Farida's from a book series. There are 3. There's a whole trilogy of books about Farida and where she gets her pact from and everything else. I'd recommend them now. I think it's Lisa Smedman. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up, but it'll be in chat. I'm pretty sure it'll be in chat. But yeah.
We'll find it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my god, sorry, I just opened my phone. Joppa also has a snudge. A red snudge.
Snood, surely.
No, because it's the hood, it's a snud.
It is a snood, Anna, but you're from up north, so we'll forgive you.
I'm not from up north, I'm from St Albans.
Yeah, but we don't go hood. I'm going to wear my hood today.
For our American friends, people up north say things weird in the UK. There we go.
Correctly. We say things correctly,
I think you'll find the Queen's English is correct, but there we go. I'm German, what do I know?
Nothing,
Anyway.
clearly.
Yes, exactly. This monarchist tangent is very strange.
As a
I'm
strong
German, I like the
Midland,
monarchy.
I will fight you.
Fair. Anyway.
Well, the Queen's English was created to ostracize the poor. So.
What you're doing here, Chris, is ostracising the poor.
What's new? Good.
The American accent is what's closest to original English.
That is also true. Anyway, before we start today, and we will start, I promise, at some point, let me tell you a bit about the lovely sponsor, Ludia of Warriors of Waterdeep. Thank you so much for supporting us in this and giving us a chance to play these characters and tell stories in your world. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we can't wait to do more of it. So, thank you very much indeed. So this stream will run for approximately, 3 hours, we hope. I mean, it's a long intro today, but, and there'll be a break somewhere about 5-10 minutes in the middle, so you can grab a cup of tea or a wee break if that's what you're looking for. We are Altogether RPG on all socials, so join us there. We like to chat about what we're working on and sometimes share some sneak previews of things that we're doing, so maybe if you want to check them out there. And if you fancy a really sneak preview, we're also on Patreon, and thank you so much to our D20 Club. Our dice heads couldn't do anything what we do without you, so thank you so much for all of your support. You can join our dice heads from just £1, $1, or whatever equivalent of your own currency. I'm not sure what all the exchange rates are these days, but yes, join us on Patreon. Find out first what we're up to. You can also listen to all of our shows as podcasts. Just search for Altogether RPG in your favourite podcasting app, and you will no doubt find us. Finally, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans-positive, and we encourage trans characters, trans players, and trans DMs in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own, and while we aim to avoid misgendering, we do appreciate it does sometimes happen. We have a company policy in place should the need arise for it. If you think we've missed anything, or there's anything you'd like to hold us to account for, which is absolutely valid, please do. Drop something in Twitch chat, our mods will be able to help you, or drop us a message online or through our social media. We're always open to being corrected. If you're looking for safety tools, should be a link in chat right now for our safety tools, as well as content warnings for our episodes if you're looking out for something in particular. Good. Right. Sorted. Here we go. Anvil of Dumathoin. What's going to happen next? No! Last time on the Anvil of Dumathoin. Can't keep it up.
You need training for that.
I can. If I work really hard, I can. Last time on the Anvil of Dumathoin.
Please don't make yourself sore tomorrow.
That's a good point.
Remember, you've got your mic on now, so you can do it. Close mic.
Oh, you're right. I can do it like this. The last time on the Anvil of Dumathoin. No, it's going to hurt.
it's just not nice to listen.
Great.
No, it doesn't. It's not nice to listen to.
Anyway,
True.
The players made their way to Sharpstone Keep, where they were asked to by Lariel Silverhand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep, to investigate some banditry on the North Road that goes north to south to Waterdeep. Anyway, they found a caravan being attacked. They found the Burnt Bone Horde, a group of kobolds, orcs, and goblins who were attacking these caravans and stealing their shit. And when they went back to Sharpstone Keep and found out why stuff was being stolen, they realised that the Horde seemed to have a new leader? Mm-hmm. Someone in charge? A fire giant, perhaps? And the fire giant laid some very important plot hooks that I really hope you remember.
Not in any way.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I can roll history checks if you need to. Anyway, so...
It's fine, I remember the plot of the game.
My history's awful.
Anyway, you just managed to defeat said fire giant in a battle for the ages, which saw quite a few people knocked quite low hit points and Thomas knocked out. But you all managed to stay alive, you all managed to win said battle. And as the giant has collapsed to the floor, well and truly dead, the five of you arrayed around the corpse. What would you all like to do? You are still in the throne room, as 'twas, of Sharpstone Keep, although, as described last time, lava flows that were purely ornamental have now been redirected to sort of splash all over the floor a little bit, and there is this sort of strange residual heat underneath everything. But the fire giant is very much dead.
It's my understanding that we were going to go and try and find some brooms that seemed like they hadn't been inhabited by the Horde to have as kip.
I think so.
Yeah, we can do this.
Halbernet is just going to say, I do enjoy it when a plan comes together. Let's go to bed.
Was that the
Classic
plan?
Naomi.
I have just made a plan and I'm very happy with it. Does anyone wish to stand in my way about it?
I don't think you made the plan. I think we'd already made the plan. You've just sort of repeated the plan.
Oh. Would you like to find rooms for a long rest?
Yes.
Who's looking?
Well, I know where. We've already searched all the rooms, haven't we? Because before we went into the...
You went into one side. As described, there's this quite long hallway from the front door to the throne room, which is kind of a parade ground, so that people who are... So guests are given direct access to the king.
Is it of the investigation persuasion or of the perception persuasion?
I mean, if you're looking for rooms that the Burnt Bone Horde specifically didn't inhabit, which, Naomlin, you wouldn't specifically know which rooms they didn't inhabit, you could roll a survival check. You could also go back to some of the rooms you've already looked in if you want to, as you didn't see any members of the Horde. They seem to all have vanished and you don't know where.
That would be one thing Naomlin would say. Hey,
we found Naomlin's, old bedroom, did we not?
Family home, yeah.
That's, mental. I think I'd prefer not to sleep in there, but apart from that...
I'm sleeping in there.
Yeah.
Niall, you were going to say something. Naomlin was going to say something.
Forgotten.
It was
it was important.
It was when I said that there were none of the Horde here, and you don't know where they've gone.
Oh yeah. We could just use all the rooms that they were staying in and barricade the doors.
Sure. I mean, I can make a hut again, so even if they do come back,
I do like a hut.
They will be.
They've gone. It doesn't matter either way, I suppose.
Not able to penetrate the hut. Sorry, I used the word penetrate. I know that you Waterdavians don't like it. In my experience.
I didn't realise that was the case. Is that a thing?
Questionably confused look comes across Naomlin's face.
Okay, are you going to go into one of the rooms you've already been in and put up the hut? Are you going to explore elsewhere? What is the plan?
Before we leave the room, though, with the fire giant, Thomas is going to say, "Oh, hang on," and bend down, pick up a couple of the tablets that the giant was trying to read, and waft them in Shavara's general direction.
Oh,
I don't suppose if he was reading that before, maybe there's something useful on them.
Clever.
Reading material. Excellent.
They're written in Dwarvish.
I can't read Dwarvish. However, I assume that Naomlin can.
Good point.
Naomlin's currently going through the giant's pockets, what?
Reading, you say?
Naomlin, if you're going to the giant's pockets, roll me an investigation check.
Cool is so beans. Oh, sorry, my fingers are so big. I can't get those eyes. All right.
Good.
Why is that? Get your heads out of the gutter, you disgust.
None of us said anything.
None of us were thinking that.
You all thought it.
I was thinking that you should just tip the box upside down, actually, so you know.
Thank you, Em, for keeping it classy.
I was wondering why you have fat fingers when you're clearly not that big.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
This is going to start becoming a challenge, potentially.
Oh no.
What have you rolled now?
A mate of mine has really, really fat fingers, but she's very
Chris,
slim.
shut up.
Shut up.
What does Naomlin move?
What did you roll?
An 8, but I feel like after that it should be advantage.
Can I go over and
help?
Well, maybe have a look for myself?
If you're taking the tablets over to Naomlin, you could assist, or you
swap. Swapsies. You read these, I'll have a look.
Naomlin, with an 8, you find
sweet wrappers.
You find pocket lint, but it's giant pocket lint.
Like
So
a
pillow.
Band-Aid.
I find a pillow.
Yeah, but it's all made up of scrags of the giant's hair, and it's grim.
Why does it put its hair in its pocket?
It's pocket lint.
That's what happened.
Just saying. Yeah, I'll take the tablets up and show it over.
I will have. I'll look first.
Yep.
That's a natural 20 plus 8 for a 28.
Okay. Looking through the pockets with a natural 20, you find
pocket lint. No, sorry. Sorry,
it.
it's been a long day. It's been a real long day.
You find 2 things.
Toothpicks.
2 things.
You're in the same room. How did you get that?
The first thing you find is it's an arcane crystal.
Ooh.
and it is cool to the touch.
Ooh, I'm just gonna pocket that.
Yoink.
I am right next to.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Sleight of hand check. Go on. Roll another.
No, Naomi wouldn't say anything.
I'm not making like any bones about the fact that I've just pocketed that.
Oh.
Yeah, Naomi wouldn't say anything. She'd literally just watch you. And like if you looked at her, she'd just be looking at you.
Not looking at you.
You also find something very odd.
Like odd?
Roll me an Arcana check, because I'm going to describe it 2 different ways depending on whether you recognise it or not.
23.
Fine. You recognise it, but you also look at it with a certain amount of disdain. It is a magical trinket known as a Wand of Wonder. Wands of Wonder look like golden wands with various gems and gewgaws and doodads poking out at random odd angles.
Classy.
It is garish, over the top, and ridiculous, and is definitively not your speed.
Anna's fine.
Okay, just gonna take 20 minutes to cast Identify on these 2 items.
Okay. You know it's a Wand of Wonder.
And I know what Wand of Wonders do.
Yes, you would know what a Wand of Wonder does. It's the kind of thing that you would have seen somewhere before, thought, what the hell is the point of that, and never used one. It is
In
basically...
other words, you wouldn't have wondered about it.
I'll just turn around to Nolan and be like, neither of these things are dwarvish. Do you want them?
No. I mean, what's the crystal?
Give me 10 minutes.
Okay. I'll read the tablets in those 10 minutes.
Read it out loud.
Okay.
In common, preferably.
Yeah, just speaks in Dwarvish.
It's histories of Sharpstone Keep. Reading them, they're older than you, and they're from before a time you were there. I'll give you a bit more about them in a minute, because it's more of a sort of lore dump, and I'd rather wait that one out. But no one reads them, but doesn't read them out loud, so it's taking the information and we'll deliver them later is the best way to put that. What is everyone else doing while this is happening?
Just gazing, just gently kind of eyeballing Shavara to see what's going to happen to the trinkets.
I think Halvanet, they think they're being really subtle, but there's a certain amount of things like this because they are tired and keen to go to bed.
I understand.
But it's the sort of old person routine of, well, I've time to probably be getting down. Thinking they're being very subtle.
Left, I could just cast it. I'll just cast it.
On the crystal?
Yeah.
Do you want to save it till you're all sat somewhere safely?
I mean, why? We just killed the giant. No, I'll just cast it.
Safe as it's going to get.
You are holding an elemental gem. You could use it to... It basically works like a summoning... It summons an elemental. You can use it to throw and summon an elemental. However, you also know that elemental gems like this are useful for the construction of other artifacts, especially magic items. So you might have other uses for it.
Do you have something in mind that you want done with this?
What, me as in-game?
You, Chris, as a person, do you have something you want done with this?
It is an item for you that you should keep on your person,
right,
and we'll get to later in the story.
Sounds like there might be a lore dump that goes on
about
this.
it for the moment.
Unbelievable. I've literally played the game.
I have a knife that injures people. I use my knife that injures people.
No, you don't have that weapon. You do not have your sword and weapon. That is not a thing.
That's the only weapon I use.
Well, right.
I could probably use this at some point. Maybe. Do you want
it?
it?
Just stares at you. No, just stares at you with that cold quietness that's like, cool.
What about the other thing?
I mean, it's a toy.
It's pretty.
I mean, it's a toy, but if you want it, you can have it. Assuming that Naomi doesn't want it.
It's a tiger stopper with a look from Coriolis.
Yeah, and Emma just strokes like, no.
Do you give Coriolis the Wand of Wonder?
Yeah, I have no use to it.
Cori, you have the Wand of Wonder.
Do I know what it is?
No. Maybe roll an Arcana check.
But it isn't shiny.
Oh, please tell
Oh,
us.
shiny.
So shiny. So should I add that to my inventory as well?
Yes, please.
Okay. As is, I don't need to homebrew or anything on it.
No, as is.
Great, thank you. That's a nat 20.
What?
Oh, then
Wow.
once again, Cori, you've heard of a Wand of Wonder, and it sounds awesome! Basically put, you point it at things, and random stuff happens.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's
This
exactly
is
your
going to be
speed.
great.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, as if a wild magic, sorcerer
random.
needed any more.
Coriolis did not need a Wand of Wonder, and yet
Here we
she's
are.
so excited she's had
I think what we're saying here
Now
is
she's a
Coriolis
Chaos
didn't
God.
need a Wand of Wonder, but Coriolis wanted a Wand of Wonder.
very much so.
Are you taking anything else from the abandoned throne room, or are you making your way to somewhere safe to rest?
Is there anything else in here that looks worth taking?
The giant clearly carried light. Like, he wasn't carrying a huge bag or anything like that. There are sort of bits of this throne room that you could explore further if you wanted to, but with the tablets and with the items, you've probably gleaned most of what you're going to glean from this room.
Let's have a sit down.
I think whilst all of that had been happening, after passing Shavareth the tablets, Thomas has been having a sit down this whole time. Like, a giant played baseball with him. So he's,
Yeah, when Naomi says let's have a sit down, she indicates towards Thomas, who's very clearly.
he's actually he's sat on the floor. He's kind of going over his shield and checking any dints or anything, but is also kind of looking at the giant's corpse, particularly his face, which has been absolutely decimated by Naomi. Is looking at it a bit thoughtfully, but didn't say anything.
Okay. Are you going to go back through the rooms that you already explored and find and stay in one of them, barricade the door, use the dome, or are you going to explore?
We've already explored.
Cool.
I was going to say, go back through.
Cool. Are you stealthing at all?
Almanet really can't.
Last time we checked, there was nothing there, so.
Cool. Then in which case you can make your way back to one of the rooms. You can find one that has some rather shoddy, they're not beds, they're sleeping rolls and that sort of thing in it, but you can find space where you could rest which don't, reek or aren't too awful. There's plenty of space. Do you put the dome up inside this room?
Yeah, it'll take me a few minutes.
Cool. Then in which case I will say the dome is put up and you can all sit within, find sleeping rolls, and can rest within if you want to. Do you set up watches? What is the plan?
Halvanet can take half the time unless we want to do a full. So they could do half of the watch and leave the other two pairings, if you see what I mean.
Naomi will quite happily take the first watch because she'll read.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
I think Thomas would have gone to offer to take the first watch, but as soon as anyone else is like, I'll do it, he's like, okay.
Okay, I'm going to take this armor off. Oh, God.
I think unless Cori jumps in, if no one's staying up and reading,
Yes.
Are you jumping in?
To take the watch, yes.
Okay, fine.
Cool. Then in which case, Thomas, Shavareth, and Halvanet, you will start resting, and Cori and Nelman, you're staying up for probably 3 hours, and then there will be a crossover, and then Halvanet can do... That way you all get a long rest, and it works out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I just ask, the Wand of Wonder,
Yeah.
does it require attunement?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Is that something I can do now? It's according to D&D Beyond, it needs attunement.
Oh, then, yes,
Is
then it requires attunement, yes.
They're not mucking about with that.
So yes, you can use an hour to attune to the Wand of Wonder.
She's so happy.
Is there anything you're doing while attuning to the Wand of Wonder?
Just kind of I always wanted one of these.
Do you say that to Naomlin?
No, just very much in my own brain. Like, for once, not absolutely not paying any attention to anybody else, not trying to talk Nolan's ear off, which normally she would be, and just and just like kind of playing with it, doing like a kid does, like.
Without actually doing anything.
Without actually doing anything.
Oh, that's perfect. That's amazing. Deeply cute.
I think, like, whilst Nolan's reading, it's just like, when somebody's reading, just...
I mean, and I'm now imagining vroom, vroom,
Yeah, like a little... And then I think if I notice that Naomi's looking at me, becoming a little sheepish, and then just kind of turning the other way and doing it that way instead.
Are either of you keeping watch?
Yeah, like you can.
If something catches my eye, then
It's like there's one door. All I have to do is face towards the door. I'm pretty sure I'll notice if
It
something walks up.
sounds like you're both using your passive perceptions to watch.
My passive perception's 19, so.
Oh.
I don't know that, but also I don't care. So
Great. So, canonically, you're now facing away from the door, going zoom, zoom. So, Nelman's the one doing the watching. And on a passive perception of 19, we'll get to the tablets in a second. Over the course of about 3 hours before you wake the next people to take the next to the rest, you are sort of looking at the door and you are listening. It's basically quiet. I imagine that Haldonet snores. I imagine that Thomas snores as well, frankly. Does Shivareth snore?
Oh, that really grates on Naomlin. Like, Naomlin was passed out the last time we long rested. But, like, occasionally, Naomlin looks over at Haldonet and Thomas, and you can see it in her eyes. She thinks they're doing it on purpose. She gets her dagger out, and then puts the dagger back in occasionally, and then continues reading.
I think Shivareth
And then gets the dagger out.
occasionally sleep casts. It's like occasionally, like she'll like cast a fireball in her sleep. Like there's no actually casting, but she's like made the motion.
So Shivareth's like a dog.
No, people do that
in their sleep.
People do that as well.
People don't cast spells in their sleep.
People make movements.
Depends on how magical you are, Chris.
I had a friend who, if the cover was not on her leg, it would bounce up and down on the mattress.
Wow.
Oh, that's okay.
The equivalent of.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Fine. Yep. So we have sleep casting and gentle snores and whiffles, and Nelmlin being really annoyed about it. And Corey
Oh, is it gentle snoring, or is it like obnoxious snoring?
No, it's not obnoxious, but it's definitely there, and it's definitely... That sounds really stupid.
Is it whiffling? Does Haldonet whiffle?
Yes.
As long as it's consistent, I think Naomlin can deal with it.
Yeah. It's definitely very consistent. But occasionally the...
Oh, no, yeah, that's those moments she goes...
Anyway, amongst that, this is your old home, and you know the vibe. You know what it sounds like. You have this sort of strange sense of that calm, under the ground coolness and stillness. You do think at one point that you hear a sort of faint, like a screech, but it's a long way away.
Like a bird?
No.
I shouldn't be asking these questions.
It's fine. More sort of a high-pitched sort of, almost like a metal door squeaking against a hinge.
Cool.
Wow.
Well, my thoughts are the furthest thing that away from this keep is the mines, right?
Ooh.
You know that there are mines beneath the keep, yes.
Yeah. So
You've never
if
been.
metal's screeching, it's probably far, far away near mines wise. So Naomi's going to sort of sit back and be like, Noted.
Okay.
The tablets, the history that they detail is from before your time. And it's quite dry and quite factual, so-and-so begat so-and-so kind of thing. But then every now and then there is mention of visitors coming, and it's the names out of like childhood adventure stories. It is incredibly famous, powerful people coming to Sharpstone Keep and leaving with, and it's generally quite vague, gifts. So there is very much a sense of the powerful and mighty came here at one point. But you don't know why.
Yeah, I think as Nolan's reading, she looks over to Sheriff and is like, yeah, they'd have liked this. And then just sort of continues to read. Oh, begat that, begat this. Sounds very up their street. Yeah, I think Nolan makes spark notes in common.
That's fine.
So that she can basically give them to Sheriff on the change.
Sure. If we're ready for the changeover, Corey and Nolan go to sleep, and Shivareth, Thomas, you can get up. Or Halbernate could do the next stint. Doesn't really matter.
I don't know if there'd been anything organised. Would you guys like to go next?
Sure.
Cool.
I mean, I feel like if Nolan's waking people up next, she'd wake up Sheriff and Halbernate and say, leave Thomas for tonight.
Oh, yes. Hooray.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That's very sweet. Cool.
I'm not doing it because I'm sweet. I'm doing it because... Shut up.
I will accuse you of anything, promise.
Do you give Shivareth the spark notes that you made?
Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like that's how Shivareth's woken up.
Next to the face.
Sound of paper sliding across stone. Yeah.
The siren call of wake up time.
The wizard's siren call.
Read.
Paper. Yes, Shivareth, you get the same information that Nolan got. Not the details of so-and-so begat so-and-so, but this fact that Sharpstone Keep was well visited and was famous for giving gifts to some quite numinous people.
Interesting. I feel like Nolan would have thrown at least one begat just for fun.
Sure.
Yeah. The first I think Nolan started writing down stuff and then looked further down the tablet and went,
No.
One'll do.
Can we assume that the first side, Thorin begat Borin, and then Borin, you get the idea.
Exactly.
This happens for another 1,000 generations.
And they
I
all
wish I was
begat
exaggerating.
Boring.
I'm going to go and sit next to Halbernate with my spellbook, which I'm going to be writing in and talking at the same time.
Sure.
Because I've only got so much time, and I've got some spells that I need to sort out.
Yep.
So let's assume that I can write and talk.
Well, you leveled up, so you are welcome to take previous spell notes in your spellbook and turn them into new spells that you know, swap some out, that sort of thing. Classic wizard
Before I
shit.
go to sleep, if you hear a screeching sound getting particularly loud, wake me up. And then literally flips and goes to sleep.
All right.
Right.
Relatively
We'll do our
simple
best.
instruction.
Yes, it's true. I
Halbernate,
think we should hear a screech.
you're
Yes?
quite old.
Well, thank you.
I had a question that I was going to follow that with, but I've temporarily forgotten it. I'm sure it'll come back to me.
So it was just an insult then. Well, thank you.
I didn't intend it to be. I did have a question.
I'm sure you will do. Let us sit on it for a while. Let's think.
What's the deal with the big elf head thing?
Oh, well, I have been through enough in my life that I like to feel protected. And there was a mask in my childhood home that used to scare the living daylights out of me. And it seems to be the thing that I can summon, because I know it was not mine necessarily, but of my family. And when it attacks other things, I feel like my family is protecting me.
That's very sweet.
Well, it gives me comfort. Comfort's occasionally what you need, and long nights, places like this, with dead fire giants rotting gently beside you.
Do you think it was too quick? Do you think we should have talked to it for longer? Him?
No, absolutely not. They had threatened us. They had made out that we were ineffectual. We certainly proved them wrong on that. And, no, I think it would have gained us nothing. To be honest, if we carry on into the keep and we find more people, they will probably either have more information, in which case we can just talk to them, and if they have any less, then get them out of the way as well.
Do you think you could look after everyone while I go do something? I'll be back in
Yes?
tiny bit.
Yes, that's no... You sure you don't want, company? I know I'm not the stealthiest, but I could, keep lookout.
But then everyone else would be vulnerable.
That's true. That's true. Yes, perfectly fine. Dare I ask?
Probably best not to.
That's fine.
I'll tell you afterwards.
If it is successful, I would deeply appreciate that. You're a fascinating being. I'm very glad I'm on your side.
Can I sneak into...
What is happening now?
I don't know.
I was trying not to ask any questions as Almanet. That was really difficult.
Can I
Yes, Emma?
go back to the giant's corpse
Yeah?
and cast Speak with Dead?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good choice not taking the cleric with you.
Would have been quite...
Can I just confirm, is the dome gone?
Yeah, I'm sorry it drops when I leave, but I can put it back up when I come back. Oh.
Okay.
We're asleep.
It's not a problem. Yes.
Okay, describe to me how you cast Speak with Dead.
It's the first time I've cast it, because I've just learnt it from my spellbook. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm going to reach out and I'm going to touch the sort of mess of a forehead. And where I touch, I think the life like ripples out from my finger, only to the head, because I don't really care about the rest of him. I only want to speak to his head.
Yeah.
You know, conserve your magical energy.
Where the brain is, yeah.
Right, Speak with Dead. You can ask 5 questions. They don't need to be honest with you. Gotcha. The mashed ruin of head sort of horribly tries to open its mouth, but can't fully. Oh.
Yeah, sorry about that.
An eye sort of horrible, like in shards, just sort of pops open effectively. Well, it appears I underestimated you. They're speaking in giant. He's speaking in giant.
Maybe a little. But we are only little.
I like you. You're funny.
I think we could have been friends. Maybe.
I do too. Ah, well.
Is this one of the lies?
No question was asked.
You have no reason to be truthful, but you also have no reason to lie to me. You are dead.
Like it is.
I am aware of this magical incantation you have used. It is disconcerting, to say the least.
Apologies, I will leave you to your rest shortly.
I was dining with Suta.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll send you back. In a moment.
Unexpected.
To be dining with Suta?
To be called back. That's not a question I'm going to count, don't be silly.
I asked a question.
That doesn't count.
Do you know anything about the anvil that you didn't tell me?
It is below. I'd like to ask you a question first.
Of course.
If you find it, what will you do with it?
That depends on whether it is a threat to the city or whether it is potentially an ally.
It is an anvil. You use it to make magical weapons. It is not sentient.
All things can be threats.
Will you use it? Will its knowledge and power enter the world?
Possibly.
Then I am comfortable sharing with you. My goal was to retrieve it. Yes, Mrolyek and the rest of the Horde wanted it to make weapons. I just wanted it to be used. It is a shame to have something so powerful locked away under the ground forever. Forgotten.
Oh no.
The DM regrets the voice this gravelly.
Sorry.
Didn't realize it was going to be going on for this long.
Is there anything you can tell me about Morolier that would be useful for me to know?
Moriet is a hobgoblin. He has built a power base nearby. An ancient citadel, abandoned. He sent part of the Horde here with me to find the anvil, to make weapons for him. I couldn't get through the small doors.
It is sometimes rather difficult being a giant.
Some of the Horde vanished into the mines below. You may want to not let them get there first.
Where is the entrance to the mines?
I don't know. I mean, I can't see it, you know.
I had another question. I've forgotten it now.
Well, you've got two more, I think.
I know.
Glad the giant says that.
Is there anything you would like us to do with your body? To lay you to rest?
Place it in the fire.
Mrolier,
Yes.
does he have honor?
Yes, he does. Hobgoblins have a sense of honor, culturally speaking, but Mrolier in particular has... Yes, honor.
Thank you. Enjoy your feast.
Use the anvil well. The head sort of... The life leaves it, and all of the semblance holding it together just collapses again, and parts of it that were being held together actually just... Like, the head was caved in properly, so yeah.
I have no way of putting this into the fire, so that's going to have to wait for tomorrow. And I'm going to
It's not going to work.
go back to the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just sit back down next to Halbernet as if nothing has happened.
Roll a performance check.
Do I need it?
I rolled a 21. My dice loves me today.
That's amazing.
You can roll an
Hang on.
insight check. You can roll that check if you want. It's up to you.
What's the other option?
Not.
No, I'm gonna go for the insight.
You just don't rolled.
That's annoying. I thought it was a 17. No, I only get an 18. But I think you are going to get, as you come in and sit down and absolutely nothing's happened. Everything all right?
Everything is fine. I just wanted to ask our giant friend some more questions.
Right. I'm glad I wasn't there for that.
He was perfectly pleasant.
Yes, just talking to the dead, not really my, I'm more of a life kind of person.
I mean, I prefer talking to alive people, but sometimes you can get straight answers out of dead people because, they know they're dead.
Right.
That sounds like I kill people to get answers out of them. That's not what I meant.
No, but, yes. Well, I see. Glad you did it, not me, and I'm glad he was forthcoming.
There's another sort of eerie, shrieking noise, but it's still quite far away.
Do you think that's what he meant? That she meant?
I'm guessing so. Does it sound like anything?
Roll just a flat intelligence check.
For both of us?
Yeah, why not?
It's cocked. 22.
You haven't rolled below 20 thus far.
It'll all be in combat. I'll just roll ones. That's what's coming.
Fine. Well, I got a 9.
You molting there now.
Yeah.
Well done.
Halbinette, it sounds like the shrieks of the undead dwarves who used to live here and the pain they suffered. She arrives the squeaking door.
But could it not be more than that?
No.
I mean, it sounds like a door that someone's left on its hinges.
Ghostly? No, not a ghostly hinge. Fine. All right. I suppose we can just carry on.
I mean,
I've come back to haunt the living!
it might be the...
Sorry.
That's what I do as a poltergeist, is like minor shit so they'd never figure out that I was a ghost. I just like move shit.
Conveniences.
Yeah, turn the kettle off when they thought they turned it on.
That would be and that already happens to me. I feel like there's a poltergeist just messing with my head.
Anyway,
It might only be my own head.
I'm sorry I started this. Anyway. Anything else happen during your watch?
Does Shivareth put the tablets down?
The notes. I'll hand them to you if you want them.
Yes. If I might, and I think, yes, Halbinette doesn't, given that, well, I can do another intelligence score, but to try and comprehend what they mean.
You speak Dwarvish.
No, I mean as in, like, getting actually, and I just rolled a natural 20, so whatever is in there, apparently I do get. No, I understand these, that makes a change.
Well, you speak Dwarvish, so you can read them.
They're in common, I thought.
No, they're in Dwarvish.
No, this is the Cliff Notes. I've just given Halbinette the Cliff Notes.
You're just going to have a look at the Cliff Notes?
Yes.
There's nothing new, there's no new information in there that I could possibly share with you. If you'd like to use that natural 20, you could look at the stone tablets. Hint!
Those are just the notes that Nolan wrote in common. There are the actual originals. They're just over there.
Oh.
Sorry, I sound like a smash cut show. They're just over there.
Yeah. Well, that's...
You know what they say.
Well.
Never read the translation if you can read the original.
Well, yes, something I thoroughly agree with. Are they in Dwarfish?
Yes.
Yes.
And in which case, and goes over and devours them.
They're made of stones that'll hurt. Going through them, you recognize some of the names of people who travelled here. They are people from your village where you grew up. You knew them because you are very old. What you also start to piece together from this and from your historical connection to some of the people who travelled here, you remember there were people in your village who returned from long journeys with incredible suits of armor, weapons, beautiful crafted medallions. And when you asked about them as a young elf in your, mid-50s, they would say that a wondrous magical anvil had been used to make them for them. And you start to put two and two together. Salt Bay, that law? No.
Javareth,
Yes.
I recognize some of the names here.
Oh.
I've seen what this anvil can do. It's frankly stunning.
The giant said that it was very powerful and magical, and he was very keen that it be used.
For what exactly?
He said it can be used to make weapons, magic weapons.
Well, yes, that's... Sorry, Chris, what... Was it just sort of weapons, like things of war, like armor and...
Not necessarily. Smithies tend to work on weapons of war because metal, But it was also used for some very fine, detailed work. Probably some sort of lovely goblets and...
or mechanical things, depending, but not just... It's not just
nothing
a martial...
too, like, Tinker Toolsy, steampunky, all very solid dwarven work.
No, it should be used. If it can produce anything like those things that I have seen, I'm... very, very keen it should be used. You said that you wouldn't want this giant getting hold of it. What were you worried about?
At the time, he wouldn't say what he wanted it for, only that he wanted it.
Yes.
And he wouldn't say exactly what it did, which was concerning. And he also was leader of a group of people who had tried to attack us. The pieces of that in combination don't add up to something... Don't add up to me to someone who should be in charge of a powerful magic item. Also, I didn't know what it did.
Well, no, exactly. I'm just wondering if... should we be in charge of...
Well, I don't think an army of hobgoblins should be.
No. We are taking on an army, aren't we?
Well,
this is the first time anyone's mentioned hobgoblins.
Hobgoblins, you say?
Sorry. There's a hobgoblin who's in charge of the Burtburn Herd Rollgate.
I thought we'd already dealt with one of those. Was that not a hobgoblin?
No, hobgoblins are
Sorry.
sort of meaner.
Yes.
Typically. And apparently he's got honour, so that's something.
Who told you that?
The giant.
Very well.
I believed him. He had no reason to lie.
Understood. No, I'm just... I don't know how to trust them. I didn't talk to him, so I don't know, but...
He did insinuate that perhaps we should try and get there before them.
Well, exactly. Right. Well, in which case, let's hope that Thomas heals up, and let's get on the move. I think that would be a very good idea.
I'll just glance over at Thomas. Is he looking better? Is he looking all right?
Rosy-cheeked.
Well, see, the amazing thing in this D&D world is that if you sleep for 8 hours, you can cure any broken bone or injury, so...
It's amazing.
Thomas's leg is setting miracle accuracy in front of your eyes. Thomas looks like he's resting well.
He's looking better.
Yes. I hope, he seemed taken aback by that, what the giant did to him. Do you think he's going to be all right?
Do you think he was taken aback by what the giant did to him, or by the fact that we killed the giant?
This is supposed to be his first adventure, isn't it?
Is it?
Well, I think so.
I don't think it's his first... He's been with the guard.
There's a big difference between being in a battle with your friends and knowing that you have some kind of backup. Here it's just us. He barely knows any of us.
We're back up?
True. I just think we should look after him. But you are already, and I think that's very good. But I think I would be sorry to see more harm come to that one.
Would you help me with something in the morning?
Yes, of course.
I asked the giant how he would want his body laid to rest.
Oh, I see. What did he say?
In the fire.
Oh, fine. Yes. All right. That sounds eminently just you and I.
I was going to ask Thomas as well. I thought maybe he might find it soothing.
Well, yes. Let's see what happens when he wakes up. Yep.
Are you going to... Shiraz, you need to take another nap at some point, but is Halbert going to stay up and complete the rest, and Thomas doesn't need to take a rest, or are you... Yeah, cool.
I can, fine. Stay up for as long as it needs to be, because I have less. Yeah.
True. Chancing. Then in which case, you can all rise after roughly 8 hours or so, and in doing so have all taken a long rest.
I've got to stop pressing the long rest button before the long rest.
Yeah, you do.
Afterwards.
No. Oh no, where is it on the app?
If you press the cogwheel, and then there's short and long rest options down the right-hand side if you open it. Got it?
No.
I usually
the app. I don't use the app. I use the computer. Yeah, no idea.
phone app is the little fire.
Oh, it's a rest. Cute.
Yeah, it's
Very
good.
cute.
I definitely wouldn't have got that either.
It's clever. It's clever.
Yeah.
It's very clever. As you all rise and prepare yourselves for whatever happens today, you've lost track of time. You don't know what time of day it is, and there's no sunlight in here, so you couldn't tell without going back to the front door. What are you doing before you, as you depart?
I'm just going to sidle over to Thomas as he is probably not like as he's waking up, once he's already awake, otherwise that's a bit too much. Just like, morning.
Do you want to bury someone? That's the way to wake up.
I think as soon as he finds out that you let him sleep, he looks a bit devastated. But is also grateful.
You ruined Thomas.
I had a chat with the giant in the middle of the night. And I have magic that lets me speak to dead things. I probably started with that. And he asked if we would put his body into the fire, and I just wondered if you'd be able to help because he's quite big.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
Thanks.
He seemed... He was reading.
Yeah.
When we went in there. I was just trying to figure out... He didn't seem to get angry that I saw.
With what I know now, I'm not sure either.
He did threaten you.
He didn't.
He did. Said he let you leave alive if you got the anvil for him.
Wasn't a serious threat.
Just giants, isn't it? I think the
Giants,
the small folk.
Yeah, there was an element of that, yeah.
He threatened us a little bit, but I had quite a pleasant chat with him last night, and I think if we had been giants, we might have had an entirely different conversation.
Had an entirely different conversation if we hadn't killed him, I suppose.
Possibly. I think if we tried to leave, he would have killed us.
You said he wanted this anvil thing. What did he want with it?
He wouldn't say at the time. He told me last night. To put it out into the world.
I mean, he was also going to use it to make weapons for a Hobgoblin warlord, I'm just saying.
Although, apparently there's also a Hobgoblin involved, so... I'm not sure his motives were entirely... above board.
Right.
As it stands, though, there's a Hobgoblin with an army trying to get to an anvil that makes magic weapons, so...
Work to be done.
Did someone say work? Good morning, Thomas. How are you feeling?
Hungry?
That's not my department. Does anyone...
Starting to regret the limited pack of rations that we packed.
You got rations?
Honest?
That's about it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I feel like Nolan's just like grinding on some beef jerky while she's packing up her bed.
That's about as good as it gets.
It's a long sight from an home-cooked stew, but I suppose it'll do. Let's move this joint then.
Right.
Guess what?
The giant. We're attending to the giant's final, post-final wishes.
And you're not gonna hack it to pieces and sell off the parts.
No.
The giant eye probably goes quite far.
He wanted to be set on fire or put into the fire.
He also wanted to kill us. I mean, we could. Like
I'm not
I said,
sure that he actually did want that. And I'm not sure
Pretty
that there's
certain
actually much of his eyes left.
Pretty
to
certain
barter
that he
with.
did want to kill us. I'm pretty certain if we didn't do what he would have wanted, he would have killed us.
Well, either way up, it didn't happen. So let us deal with his final wishes and keep going.
Do you
yeah.
all go and, drag push the body into the magma? What's the plan?
That's my plan, certainly.
Cool. No rolls needed because you're all, there's 5 of you. Eventually you'll manage it.
Mage hand, just
Standing a bit away, like
£10.
It is an effort, but you do manage to eventually roll the body over to the magma and just sort of plop in. Doesn't catch fire because fire giants are immune to fire damage, but does sort of slowly like sink down into the magma. And
the hand. No, it's not going to do that.
No, it's a foot. This is the way it was rolled.
That's the last thing seen. Yeah, perfect.
That stomped on Thomas.
There's a dent. There's a dent in the foot. There's a dent in the armor where it stopped on Thomas.
nice.
Like cartoonishly shaped.
Anyone say or do anything?
Halmanet will say a very perfunctory prayer of their god to mark the occasion, nothing else. But just, it feels like it should be said at this point. And therefore just to put a pin in it. Right. Shall we get moving? I think we need to get there before these hobgoblins do. Oh yes, by the way, there's a horde of hobgoblins in case anyone's unaware of this.
What on earth happened while I was
I
asleep?
think there's just one hobgoblin.
They bred ferociously. What?
I think there's just one hobgoblin. He's called Morolge.
Oh, I see.
Mroliet.
Oh, sorry. There is a yes. So there is just one that we know about, but where there's one, there tends to be many. We'll see.
Where are you going?
Oh, and the giant didn't know where the mine was, so dead end there, I'm afraid.
I should know which way the mines are.
say,
If I live here,
You know the direction that the mine is, and you know where to go, but you have never been in the mine.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why would a kid go to the mines?
Terrifying prospect.
But yes,
Yeah.
so you can guide people through what remains of Sharpstone Keep to get to the entrance to the mines, but there'll be a certain point after which you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
Mhm.
We're just on an exploration, an adventure. Sorry, I got carried away then.
As you're all making your way through the remains of Sharpstone Keep, do you have a particular marching order? Are you being stealthy? What's the setup? Tell me what you're doing.
Let's try and be stealthy. I don't think it never has before.
It's
But-
never worked before.
I was going to say, because they already know we're here, maybe what we should be doing is checking for traps.
Nice. Yes, let's do that.
And I think Nailin says that in character. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thoroughly agree. It's a very good plan.
Who's doing the trap checking?
I'm
What's
happy
the
to
roll?
perception
Investigation.
check.
It's
Well, decent
investigation. It's
Or is it not
investigation.
perception for looking for chaps?
No.
Chaps? Looking for chaps?
It's perception to look for chaps, obviously, but it's investigation
That's
to
what
look
I
for
do,
traps.
I have +8.
My
if
investigation
everyone
is
else
dog
is.
shite, so...
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, my
Good,
investigation's awful as well, so
Yeah.
over to you, Em, if you wish.
I
Over to
think
Shivareth.
Shivareth is very quiet and at the back, so someone is going to have to tell her to, otherwise she's not going to.
No, man, you are a trained, travelling rogue. You've done this before. You know full well if a trap is found, you can probably disarm it, but finding them is another matter.
So, I think Halmanet, as the arguable, starts out trying to be the sort of first person, and I presume somebody will go,
Yeah.
why don't you just take a step back and let people who are investigating
Yeah,
do
Corey will just be like, come on, grandparent, I'll do it.
grandparent? I'm at least a 3 times great grandparent, but nevertheless.
Sorry, didn't mean to cause offense.
Sorry?
You and Coryllos both have magic
What?
aptitude. Coryllos. You and Corey both have magical aptitude and book learning smarts. Why don't you two take the lead on
Corey doesn't have book learning smarts. Corey just developed powers by going to the Astral Sea. Were you not listening?
No, and they're just like squints at you like, I don't
As does
care. Don't care. Yeah.
Corey rolled a 14, just in case we cared.
What?
14.
14.
So, are we looking for books? What's the
What do we-
question?
So, you know how you look for a book? Yeah. Now look for a book that might kill us. And it gives you a thumbs up.
Mimic?
Just shows you the lead, basically.
Coriolis openly laughs at that Saki comment.
Nice.
I'm just going to hold up my spellbook in front of you and go, here, I found one.
Okay, now find some more, darling.
I think I'm just going to lean against a wall. No.
Okay.
That's my
I'm gonna
14.
help Corey. Yeah, I'm gonna help.
Is there?
Cool.
Does that mean I get advantage?
Yeah, apparently.
I'd really like her to do it now, just because. Okay, so that's a dirty 20. Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Making your way down the corridor, you don't see any traps of any kind, but with Nelmlin guiding you, you eventually come to a larger room where the stone is less well worked. It looks like it's a natural cavern. There is an archway that seems to lead further in, but this is the point where it stops being a citadel and starts being underground caverns and starts being a mine. This natural cavern, the floor goes from being quite carefully paved and almost tiled in places to being just natural rock cavern floor. Corey, with a non-natural 20, there are quite a few pit traps that have been covered with tarpaulin and dust to look like the stone surroundings, quite ably, which you can easily point out to your teammates.
Not ably enough. And I just start pointing at things. I'm like, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there.
Are you all being stealthy?
Trying.
Okay, I'll test stealth check,
He's
please.
very willing to make the roll. I
can
don't
be.
think it's going to work, though.
19.
19.
Oh, my stealth's gone up.
So sad.
It's not
to
letting
get
me
rid of that
do it.
natural 20.
Oh no, that's a 6.
6.
So she really is going, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there. Oh no, I can, hold on.
We're holding on.
No,
I did. Can't hold on any tighter.
Ooh.
no, it's okay. I've said I don't want to do that, that's fine.
What, Tides of Chaos?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want a Tides of Chaos,
No,
Anna?
I can't Tides of Chaos, but I could have used a sorcery point to roll it again, but I would have to take the new.
Oh, because Tides of Chaos is only
And it
attack
could
rolls
be
and
a nat
saving
one.
throws.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That's true.
What I was going to say is, I like the idea, and with your permission, if it's the thing of getting really overexcited where you see the pit traps are and going, and that one's there, and that one's there, and it's just sort of bouncing
Yeah.
around. And then
Very that.
and then Halvard is going to try, with a 14 actually, is going to try and sort of follow your movements as carefully as possible because they think that that's how. So that's why do we have to do
Tides of
this
Chaos
exactly?
is attack rolls, ability checks, or saving throws.
So you could use Tides of Chaos if you wanted to, Anna.
I thought Tides of Chaos had to be an over level 1 spell.
No, that's just you have to roll wild magic if you cast a spell at first level or over. Tides of Chaos lets you reroll.
In that case, let's do it. Tides of Chaos.
Thank you. Next time you cast a spell, I can make it happen without the roll.
And it was a nat 1.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Oh.
Because Thomas is lucky.
Yeah, but Corey isn't lucky.
But now everyone is, because bountiful luck.
Share the luck.
Can you explain how
kidding?
Bountiful Luck works for those who don't know? It's a feat.
So it's a halfling feat. So halflings are naturally lucky, which means if I roll a nat 1 on an ability check, attack, roll, or saving throw, I can re-roll it.
Mhm.
And now with Bountiful Luck, which is a feat, I can share that luck and stop
That's
other people.
amazing.
It uses my reaction, but we're not in combat, so everyone
Not a
gets a
problem.
not a nat 1.
I mean, let's be
So-
clear. It uses Nat's reaction, but it uses Thomas's reaction to give it to someone else, and
And then I can't use it.
it doesn't affect Thomas for a round as well.
Oh,
Okay,
I see.
so hold
It's a
on though.
potential nuke.
So
Yeah.
is there a limited resource of luck that Thomas has?
No. Not out of combat. In combat, it is limiting quite significantly. Out of combat like this, not at all. Out of combat means that none
Just
of you as a
moving.
party
It's-
roll nat ones
It's
anymore.
only
Yeah.
on nat 1s. That's the limit. Whereas you only have 3 that you can put on any dice. That's the
Well, then,
difference.
so do I get to roll again?
You get to roll again because Thomas gave you
You get to
Bountiful
roll the
Luck.
nat 1 again.
So you get to roll the nat one again,
It's
which
an
is
extra roll.
Thomas, who, by the way, against all odds, rolled a 17 for stealth.
Nice.
wow.
Have you gone
So-
straight
so-
from the bottom to the top, Anna?
It's a day 20.
Ooh.
17, dirty 20, 19, 14, and I'm guessing 402?
Who are you
That was
pointing at?
22, so you're close.
So all of you are surprisingly stealthy as you're arsing about, going away across these pit traps that were very clearly left for you. This archway is quite wide, and there are sort of ruts to one side of it, like there's a space to draw carts or similar. So it looks like you are at the front of the mines. As you step through the archway, two things you noticed almost immediately. The tunnel ahead of you is quite wide and curves down quite quickly at quite a steep angle. We're talking about 30 to 35 degrees. As it curves down, you can see that littered around the front here are about 10 bodies of mostly kobolds and goblins. It looks
No.
like...
How did they die?
roll an investigation check.
Thomas is going to look at Naomi
22.
Did you get ahead of us again?
Just
22.
kneel down next to one of them and
You turn one of them over, and their face is aghast with horror, and there's no marking on their body.
ghosts.
Ooh.
Ghosts.
Good,
Does
ghosts.
Shivara say this? Does Shivara say this out loud?
Yeah, ghosts.
Ghosts. Ghost did this?
They were frightened to death. It was ghosts.
I have some protection against ghosts. Does everybody else have the ability to take them on?
I don't know.
I mean, magic works on ghosts, but
Oh, then
you
yeah.
can't fight what you can't see.
Well, that's more my... So now not only do we have to deal with some kind of horde, we also have to deal with whatever these things are, and whatever's in the mine. This is getting more and more interesting.
There is
Should be
once
enjoyable,
again
right?
that high-pitched screech that three of you heard last night. Definitely closer.
Does it definitely
Okay,
still
we seem
sound
to be
like a
going in the right
door?
direction.
Yes.
Just to be clear, Noman, that's a door.
Is it though?
No, it just looks at you like, okay.
Was this place haunted when you lived here?
Had lots of people died when you lived here? Because
Probably.
that's what brings on hauntings.
I mean, I don't know why we left, so potentially loads of people died, so we left.
Possibly. If we find any dwarves, I could maybe let you talk to them. Dead dwarves. Dead
I
dwarves.
think we might. I mean, I don't want to be cynical, but I think we might find them. And then she points to the like the face that's petrified to death.
Well, let
Also,
me know.
are they not going to only be skeletons by now?
Skeletons
What if
have
they're
mouths.
ghosts? I thought you said we were fighting ghosts, right?
It depends. This is what killed these. I mean, we may be on the same side as the ghosts, which would be lovely.
Nobody's
Just
on the
doesn't
same
usually happen
side
in
as
my-
ghosts.
Not exactly.
Can I look at the walls to see if there are any, like, faces or, like,
Ectoplasm.
anything that looks out of place? I've played with you playing ghosts before.
Do like to have faces and walls, it's true. Roll me a perception check this time.
Good, my best skill.
Okay,
No paintings where the eyes are just.
If I see,
I've rolled a
Shivara,
22. This dice loves me
I
today.
don't need to do anything. That's fine.
some
You just do
spicy
your
stuff,
thing.
yeah.
That's crazy.
What's your perception modifier?
I don't think I've rolled below a 15.
Unbelievable.
That's amazing.
I mean, we're going to have combat soon and you're going to die. That's what's going to happen. Right.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
You look around the walls and there's no like obvious sign. There's not like a ghost just going, there's nothing like that at the moment.
Okay, I can't see any ghosts. That doesn't mean they're not here.
Are we? Is this? This isn't lit, right?
Are we the bad guys?
Are we? Are we the baddies?
The Sharpstone Keep was lit with wall sconces and torches. There are a couple down here that are lit. Clearly the Horde was going down here.
Okay, cool. I was just thinking,
It's not like bright light everywhere. It's dim light basically everywhere at the moment.
Has everybody in this party got dark vision?
No.
Oh. Intéressant.
That's why I got a bit worried for a second. I was like, invisible and pitch black.
Great.
No, 3 of you do and 2 of you don't.
Is it only dim light?
It is basically quite dim at this point, yes.
I'll cast light on my shoulder.
Your shoulder glows.
Oh, could it not be a parrot?
It has to be on an object, sadly.
Get out a stuffed parrot.
I don't have a parrot.
I'm
like
not a pirate, mate. Okay. Are you... I mean, you're lit up, so stealth is out of the question now. Are you moving down the hallway? You can't be stealthy because your shoulder's lit up.
Yeah, that's fair.
It could be blind ghosts.
You could cover it though. Like you've got a hood. You could put your hood over it, and
then you won't be able to see.
Yeah, because it would just be shining
I'd
inside.
rather be able to see than be stealthy.
Totally how I roll.
The light spell is how much? What's the light range?
Light is 20 foot of bright light and dim
20 foot
light
dim light.
20 foot. I mean, I could cast it on pebbles and start throwing them ahead of us, but that feels like a lot of effort.
You could also have Neomlen be 40 feet ahead and therefore in darkness if Neomlen wanted to be.
I think.
Yeah, it's at night.
I think Kari with a dirty 20 stealth roll would also want to do that.
Okay. In which case, there's a forward party and a rear guard. Yeah. So Neomlen and Coriolis are in the forward party. Shivareth is in the rear guard. Where are Halbernet and Thomas?
Somewhere where he can see.
Yeah.
Rear guard.
I imagine it. Well, yes. In fact, Halbernet will go up to Thomas. Right. We've got a forward scouting party. I think we need to make the shield wall again. Ready? And it's a little bit patronising, unfortunately, but it's that thing of
really, you don't say.
All right. moving forward with the thing and trying to make it a sort of like, this is a fun thing, isn't it?
Oh no.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
Can I start ritual casting detect magic?
Sure.
Would that work on ghosts?
Yeah.
Likely to come about in any other way.
It's going to take 10 minutes. Is that completely pointless? It's completely pointless, isn't it? Never mind. I'll do it anyway.
So you walk forward, and Neomlen, Coriolis, your stealth rolls carry, and you are in the darkness, but the light is shining behind you as your compatriots step forward.
Can I still be helping Kari check the traps?
Yeah, sure. This tunnel does sort of head down. You're more than welcome to head towards it.
It's very much more. There's one there.
You don't see any other traps in this corridor yet. If you want to roll another investigation check to look for traps in this corridor, you're more than welcome.
Fine.
Do it. Do it now.
No, that's intimidation.
Do it.
Okay, so
I
that
intimidate
is.
traps.
Where are you? Where are you?
Well, that would have been a 28 on an intimidation roll. That's an 18 for an investigation check. Don't ask me why Kari is so intimidating.
Just the wild look in her eye.
Don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Making your way down, this corridor does end in quite an open archway. You both have 60 feet of dark vision as gnomes and dwarves, yes? I believe so.
Yeah, why not?
Looking out, this archway clearly opens out into a wider space and you can't see the other side.
Even with dark vision.
Yeah, even with dark vision. There is a tripwire that has been placed across this archway, and I think it glints slightly in the light from behind you and you just see it as you move towards it.
Nice.
Can I tell you what Corey really wants to do?
Yes.
But is not going to.
Okay.
Because she knows it will piss everyone off.
Yes.
The one.
Just fire the wand at the darkness.
I'll do it.
That's what
I'd
she
really enjoy that. I'd really enjoy
to
that.
do, but I know everyone would hate her. So she's gonna just grip the wand and then be like, no, it must be sensible.
Yes, there is a dark sort of archway ahead of you, and there's no light beyond that point, and you don't know what's beyond it. Even with 6 feet of dark vision, all you can see is just more stone floor and this large room expanding away from you. What do you do about the tripwire?
Can I start to see if I can disarm it, or whether or not we should just step over it?
You can use
sometimes stepping over things
is a lot
easier.
You can use your thieves tools to make a thieves tools check. Just use your proficiency plus dexterity to look and see if you want to disarm it.
That should be massive.
Yeah, right.
Not if it's Cox. It's landed wonderfully on its like the edge, so it's just pointing up at the sky. Oh, hello.
Hello to you too.
Send a text.
I've just been texting Anne this entire time. Saying sorry for the shader. So 8 plus a natural 20 is 28.
Fairly outrageous.
You look at this tripwire. It has been strung taut. It isn't connected to anything, which implies it is a genuine tripwire, i.e. people wanted you to trip over it. As you look out with your dark vision, because you're now quite close to this archway, the path in front, you can't see the walls or the ceiling, but the pathway in front appears to go forward for about 5 feet, and then there is a really steep drop-off.
Oh. Glad we can trip over that.
Okay. So it's just meant to trip us and then fall into a chasm of darkness. Yeah, and there's no other, way through this room?
I mean, it's an archway, and the tripwire crosses the front of the archway. You can cut it or you can step over it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just as they get closer and there's more light, I think I just turn to them and say, this is, don't trip the wire.
Oh, thank you. That's very useful.
You can all step over it relatively easily. Now, Coriolis, if you step into the space with your dark vision, as you step to the edge of this 5-foot sort of walkway, if you will, your dark vision starts to pick up the far side of this cavern, and you can see that there is a circular track that is heading like a corkscrew around what looks like the outside of some kind of pit.
Right, cool.
However, if you look down, you can see nothing. The pit just descends into darkness. There's still this corkscrewing path around the edge, but the pit itself just descends into darkness.
Looks inviting.
That is very, very dark.
This 5-foot walkway has a very obvious, two ruts where a cart would be. But it's clearly designed to be wheeled up and wheeled down. You can just about see a couple of other archways on far sides.
Yeah.
Now, how...
Are we about to go on a roller coaster cart ride?
How long are we willing to walk down this for before we decide it's too deep?
Well, I mean,
how deep is too deep?
Yeah.
Well, if we end up walking 8 hours down this mine shaft, is that not gonna...
Well, we need to get this anvil back. If it takes 8 hours, it takes 8 hours, surely.
Sorry.
It's down there, then we need to get to it.
Don't call me Shirley.
that was held on it, just so you know.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, there is also a path going up. Just FYI.
Is there a cart?
But didn't the giant... I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Shirley, but didn't the giant say the anvil was down the mine?
There is no cart on the track. No, it is a walking track, and there is clearly space for a cart to go alongside someone. It's not like it's just a mine shaft you can ride down. No.
Shame. Did the giant say they were down in the mine?
Yeah.
I mean, the giant did say they were down in the mine. However, that is a turn of phrase, not necessarily.
Just to confirm, I assume by you all having this conversation that those with the light spell cast on them have stepped into this mineshaft area.
I mean, I could message.
Just in case the people above us see us, you know.
Well, no, I was going to say,
We said we stepped over the tripwire, so yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
In which case, the glowing light does add some weird shadows to this whole space, and your voices are quite echoey in this very clearly sort of long, thin shaft. It's not that thin; it's about 70 foot across.
But comparatively,
Don't say shaft.
The long, deep shaft.
Hole. No, that doesn't work either.
Oh, okay.
Awful. They're awful. Just say mine.
As the lights, as Shivareth with the light source steps into this wide open space, from below you, you hear a
Can I find a pebble underfoot?
Sure.
Can I cast the light spell on the pebble?
Absolutely.
Can I drop the pebble into the hole?
Of course you can. As you pick up the pebble and cast light on it, the light on your shoulder fades, because you can only have light cast on one thing at once. And you throw it, and this beacon of light just goes flying out and goes down this hole in the ground. As it does, this walkway clearly goes down and then stops off at various other points where other shafts clearly go off the main shaft. You're welcome. And as the pebble falls down, out of one of these side tunnels, you all catch the faint glimpse of two red eyes staring out back at you. And that's where we're going to take a break.
So ominous.
Ominous.
So ominous.
Join us in 10 minutes for more ominosity.
Ominous Maximus.
Ominous.
Surprise us.
See you in a bit, though.
Mother of God.
See you in a bit.
So, welcome back to Warriors of Waterdeep, and the party had just made their way into the spooky Frostsilver mines. They entered the central mine shaft, and in doing so, with a light spell cast on a pebble and thrown down into the shaft below, you all noticed out of a side tunnel two glowing red eyes.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like those would have been more noticeable if it had been dark because they were glowing.
Yeah, but the eyes looked at the stone, so there is method to this madness. Anyway, you see these two glowing red eyes out of this side. All of you sort of see these glowing red eyes.
Oh, that's a shame.
At which point you hear, it's across the way, so we're talking, it's not directly across the way, it's not 70 feet, so we're talking an angle about 50 feet. Well, allow me. As the stone falls, these two red orbs just sort of lurch forward strangely on the far side of the chasm. And
was your head the orb in that demonstration?
No, that was the thing with the two eyes.
Internet connection's unstable.
Casting light on more pebbles and throwing them? Are you looking for what this is? What's the plan?
Yes, perception. If I can make a perception check.
It's dark, Ed. You can't see.
Actually, no,
you have dark vision.
From your body language.
Yeah, I do.
From your body.
Let's make our lives easy. The three of you who have dark vision, because it's not quite 60 feet away, stepping out onto this walkway around the outside of the shaft is a skeleton.
Ooh.
Looks dwarvish in size.
I was going to say...
Does it have a beard?
Well, no, its skin's gone.
No, sorry. This was attempted to call back. Apologies.
I don't have a beard. And
on a scale of 1 to 10, how attracted to it does Niall feel right now?
Oh, man.
I mean, as you see it is holding a rusty axe and looks like it's quite good with its hands.
That's a solid scaling 10.
Nat deserved that for the shade Nat threw at Niall, so...
That is
my awful pun.
That is a blast from the past. Anyway, there is a single skeleton standing on the edge of this walkway, looking across at you, holding an axe, and clearly sort of dwarven in height.
How far away is the skeleton?
About 50 feet. You can't see the skeleton. You only see the red glowing eyes because you don't have dark vision.
Cast light on myself again.
Cast light on yourself again. You can just about on the edge of it, in very dim light, see a skeleton standing on the edge of this mine shaft.
You say
I was going to say, could I have just told them?
Yes, but to cast spells, you'd be able to see something.
I can see it.
Yes, you can.
And it's a skeleton with an axe.
Just standing there looking at you.
So the first thing Helvenes is going to do is cast spiritual weapon.
I mean, Thomas just said hello. Do you want to hold your horses for a second?
Okay.
Sure. Thomas, you say hello.
Mhm.
From above you, you hear the same.
Can we react?
And more pairs of red eyes just wink and appear at various points above you.
I really want to react.
Are the red eyes the skeletons, or are they like bats? What? Does the skeleton have red eyes?
Skeleton has red eyes.
Right, okay, sorry, I was very confused. I thought there was like a flock of bats on the ceiling
No,
or
the
something.
skeleton has red eyes, and they
Okay.
appear to be on the walkway, but you can't see them. The three people with dark vision can see that there are numerous skeletons now appearing at various points on the walkway above you, staring out and down.
Let's get down, shall we? Has anyone got feather fall?
Nope.
That's a shame.
What?
Don't really see the point of that spell. Like, just fall.
It might be quite a long way.
How far down do we think it might be?
What's the plan?
You can see, those of you with dark vision, you can hear those of you without, these skeletons moving above you, and the one across the way is definitely moving up the walkway towards you.
And I start grabbing torches from my backpack, get my tinderbox and start lighting them, and then start yeeting them down the stairs so people can see them, and then yeeting them up the stairs so people can see the ones above us.
It's not stairs,
Essentially,
it's a ramp.
lighting up the room.
Sure, I will say that with you frantically lighting torches and chucking them around, do you throw any off the edge as well?
I would try to throw it to like the opposite side. You know where you said that there's
70-foot
indents?
throw, wow.
Well, like I'd go for the ones closer, and also like if I can angle it, I'd probably get ones further down. But you said there was holes where
there are sort of tunnels
mine
going
shafts.
off. Yeah.
Mine shafts going to get them onto that would probably be the best attempt.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have we decided that it's not friendly? I say out loud.
The skeleton is now very much in your light vision and is walking up the walkway towards you. It's not walking up with a kind of, yeah, time to kill. It's got more of a sort of like jerking walking step in your direction whilst holding an axe.
These things tend to be around when there's a necromancer. I don't really think that there's going to be much talking done except possibly to them.
Thomas?
Thomas, can you throw some of these torches?
I was literally going to say, like, Thomas would help Nelman, but...
I was specifically asking Thomas.
To what?
What? Well, no, I think these ones probably are not... They're not reading. They're not trying to talk.
I'm going to Ray of Frost, the one that's walking to us.
Sure.
Yes.
Make me
They're not reading.
You won't believe this, but I've rolled another 17 on the dice.
Unbelievable. Go on.
So
I do believe it.
it's a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits you.
And
Imagine if it didn't.
it takes
That'd have been upsetting.
7 points of cold damage.
It sort of freezes over a bit and then sort of breaks out of it, but it leaves half of its bones behind.
Its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Cool. Its speed is not fast. So, it's left a lot of bones behind in this frozen sort of...
Mostly leg bones, presumably.
Well, it's still got legs, it's still walking, but half of its torso is just left behind. It doesn't seem to care. Doesn't show pain either. There's no concept of pain.
Do I think necrotic damage would be bad for skeletons?
Probably not.
That's what I was thinking.
From above you, you can now see coming down on the walkway, there are a good 5 to 10 skeletons slowly making their way down towards you as well.
How far away?
The ones on the walkway, they're also about 50 feet away across.
Pretty sure I
Should
can
we
hold
roll
them.
initiative?
I'm pretty sure we can hold that. I can hold them back. We just need to start
They are
going downwards.
currently not sort of running into attack. They're just sort of walking towards you jerkily and slowly. We can enter initiative if you want, or you're welcome to keep doing things. I don't mind.
I would like to do a thing. Exactly. I would like to use the wand, but I need to know whether I'm in initiative for that.
If you do,
you can just use it.
Are.
You can just use the wand to go bam, and you can point the wand at the group walking down the stairs if you like. The stairs and the ramp.
Yes. I'm going to do that.
Okay. You have the wand. Roll the D100. See what happens.
Oh, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be chaos. Okay.
It's going to be something dark.
That is a 43.
Okay. What does that do with the Wand of Wonder?
Let's find out, shall we? Okay, a 43. I cast Lightning Bolt.
Oh, salmon skin roll. Okay, off you go.
Okay, that could have been worse. It could be better, but it could have been worse.
So you strike out with a lightning bolt at the first skeleton, probably hit 2 or 3 of them as they're walking down the stairs. Go for
that's cool.
Okay, so like I'm imagining you're pointing it sort of this between everybody.
Just like,
and then, this is not a plan. What are you doing? I've lost my eyebrows.
Follow the plan! Everyone follow the plan!
It's a stroke of lightning, 100 feet long and 5 feet wide.
Yeah, it blasts out and will cut through, let's say, 2 to 3 of them. It'll just blast through the group of them.
It's a dex saving throw.
Cool.
Of what?
I'm just rolling the skeleton's dex save, don't worry. That's a 7 and an 8.
Nope.
Skeletons, famously dexy.
Oh.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is 34 points of lightning damage.
Yeah, wow. And these skeletons just scatter into a million pieces as you blast through this group of them.
I love it. What was I going to say? Okay, first of all, does that use up it doesn't use up a spell slot. Do I need to now roll? Are you going to make me roll?
No, it's the Wand of Wonder. You don't need to do it for the wand. The wand doesn't use your spellcasting, it uses its own. You do need to take a charge off it.
Yes, I have done.
Cool. I'm
asking if you, as a DM, are going to make me roll.
No. Tides of Chaos. I can't use wild magic unless it's your magic that you're doing, and the wand isn't your magic.
How many charges? I was going to say, how many charges does it have?
As this lightning bolt blasts out and cuts down quite a few of these skeletons, slowly making their way down the stairs, from above you, you hear heavy footsteps.
Oh no!
And the heavy footsteps are.
Can we please move? This
running.
is not good.
This is not a good place to fight.
Now we need to roll initiative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So convinced this is going to be.
That's my first roll below 15, and it's a 14.
Good lord, Em. I mean,
That's crazy.
I rolled a nat 20.
Hold your horses, please, my darlings. I am just checking something. Good. Right.
I'm not putting this dice away because it's just.
Which one is it?
It's the
Can
one.
we see it?
It's the one that Merlin blessed me at Tintagel.
No one looked at it. No.
It's the one that Merlin blessed for you at Tintagel. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
American audience, I can only ask you to Google. Good, right. Sorry,
Shout out a lot to us.
Shout out your initiatives, please, my loves. I'm sorry I didn't get them.
16.
21.
16, 21.
9.
9.
20.
20.
10, which I think means that this is the first time that Halbernet has actually gotten anything other than last in the proceedings.
Yep, sounds about right. Cool. Corey, it's you first. You can hear these thundering footsteps above you. You can see where the lightning bolt struck out and there was a brief burst of light as well. There were more skeletons coming down the walkway. With the light off Shavarath's shoulder. Is it your shoulder that's lit?
Yep.
Okay. With the light off Shavarath's shoulder, you can't see any more skeletons coming up from downstairs.
Okay. Do I know what that sound was?
What
I'm assuming not.
the footsteps?
The boom.
The boom, boom, boom. Sounds like something running.
Let me hear say way up.
I would like to cast I'm so sorry.
That's not a spell.
That's a very rude spell, is what it is.
I'm so sorry.
Wild magic, baby.
I mean, if we're saying the first time you vomited before the second time it's the other end, then, you know.
I would like to cast Scorching Ray at second or third level. I think second level. Because that way I can get 3 of them, can't I?
You can pick off 3 of the skeletons by firing off 3 Scorching Rays. Go for it.
I would like to do that.
Please do it.
That's 16 to hit.
Yes.
Nice.
And I just like to get the 3 closest.
That's fine.
And that's 5 points of damage.
Cool. One sort of, you basically burn a very neat hole in like part of the skull face area, and it doesn't even notice. Just keeps walking. No concept of why this would be a problem.
Do I need to roll for the other 2 as well?
Yes, please. 3 attack rolls.
Yes. That's a... Oh, for God's sake, that's even worse. 13 to hit.
That hits. Skeletons are not particularly armoured.
Okay. That's a 7 points of damage.
Well, this one you burn sort of part of its thigh bone away, and it sort of shuffles as it walks forward.
Okay. That next roll was like quite a lot of... So I'm just going to use a luck point to change it.
Sure.
Because I didn't like that.
Okay.
That's oh, that's you. No, that's good. It's a dirty 20.
Yeah, that hits. Yeah.
And that's 7 points of damage.
You burn the first 3 skeletons coming down, which you've got dark vision, you can see them quite well. There are there's quite a few behind. They're not sort of piling up, but there's this sort of what looks like an endless stream of these things coming down the walkway. But yes, the first 3, you burn 3 sort of neat holes in the first 3, but don't down any of them. Hang on, you cast a... Yes, I am. You cast a spell of 2nd level, so would you please roll me a D100 as wild magic kicks in?
That's a 3.
But I don't want to throw up again.
That's not good. I think this is going to be worse than that.
Low numbers are bad.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't got the wild magic table up yet, so I'm going to hold you in suspense for a little longer. And it could be super good, it could be super bad.
No, no numbers are really bad.
Intriguing.
Oh.
Most intriguing. Nothing happens.
Oh.
No, it doesn't.
That's not...
Nothing that we know.
Nothing happens,
Yes.
or nothing seems to happen.
Nothing seems to happen.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
for pity's... Right. Okay.
At least you didn't summon a Modron.
Modron.
Could have been worse.
Modron X42 reporting for...
I think that's like 8, so, you know. You were close.
Okay, I'm gonna... Okay. Fine. End of my go.
Cool. Corey, are you moving at all?
No.
In the tunnel.
Down. I'm going down the tunnel.
You go down
Thomas's
the walkway.
Suggestion.
You're going to go down the walkway towards the next tunnel.
Yes.
Cool. With 30 feet of movement, you can get down the walkway, and you are nearly to the next tunnel, but you can't quite reach it yet. Nomlan!
I think as...
Nice.
Yeah, as me and Thomas have been like throwing torches out.
Yes, the area is now getting more and more. You can see more and more of these skeletons. They all appear to be coming from above.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Thomas and be like, I'm gonna wait for the big one. You'll know when I find them. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to hide somewhere.
Where?
Well, I'm assuming
in the hole,
burrow into the wall.
Well, there was two ideas.
Yes.
I can see 30 feet up, right? Up the stairs.
You can see more than that up the stairs now because you threw the torch. So,
but there was you said that 30 feet between the tunnel entrances, aren't there?
Ish.
No,
yeah. Really? So. Can I see up that first one? Is there anything up there?
As in the one above you or the one below you?
Yeah, the one above me.
The one above you. The skeleton.
Boom, boom, boom sound is coming from.
The boom is coming down from above you, as in it's coming from down the spiral above you. It's coming down this shaft.
Yes.
The skeletons are past the point. They are past the walk. They are past the tunnel above you. They're already shuffled past that point.
So they're in between
Yes.
us and the tunnel. Excellent. Okay.
So if you imagine
That's
the
not what
walkway, curved walkway, on the way down, there are tunnels you can access. On the way up, there are skeletons before you could reach tunnel.
So instead of find, I'm going to say wait for the big one. I'm going to suggest that Thomas and the rest go further down the stairs, and then I'm going to hide in the dark tunnel we just came from.
Okay. Roll me an intelligence. Roll me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Flat intelligence.
It's Chris's way of telling me I'm about to do something stupid.
No, I don't know why you think that. That is not how I do intelligence check.
Oh, well, that is a natty 20 plus a... What is all the, 20s we've got today, guys?
Yeah. You remember...
plus nothing.
You remember to step over the tripwire.
I was going to say that. Technically. Yeah, no, fair.
You turn around and go, in the shadows. You step over the tripwire very carefully. But yes, you can phase back into the tunnel you just came out of and roll me a stealth check.
Well, now that we know what it's for, can I just clip it? Because it was to trip people up, wasn't it? Yeah.
Exactly.
So take it out.
As you go, you can just...
They've got very sharp daggers. They're keen, apparently.
Roll me that stealth check, though.
Stealthy checky boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 28, I think. Yes.
Cool.
11 plus 17 is 28.
Do you have an action you want to take?
I'm going to hold my attack action for when I see big boy.
Wait, so they're...
The big boy appear.
The big boy.
Yeah, and I'm going to suggest that everybody go further away so that I can get my...
So you're basically, when it runs past the doorway, you'll be able to click it.
Assassinate it, one would say.
I mean, it's having its turn, so...
I thought we're in combat. I thought to attack something, but no, that's fine. That's fine. I'll still wait.
Shivarith.
For the camera.
For the camera?
For the camera.
Yeah.
Shivarith is going to reach out tentatively, nearly touch Thomas, and then have a moment of self-doubt and not.
Oh!
And he's going to cast Fireball instead.
At the back of the cinema, someone shouts, "Just do it already!"
I don't need to be able to see where I cast Fireball.
This is correct.
Can I calculate where I would cast it to catch the most people, because I can hear them? And I can see glowing eyes.
Do you want to try and clear as many skeletons as possible from the walkway? Or do you want to try and aim it for where you think the big one is?
Both.
You have to pick one or the other.
If I go for the big one, will I not catch any skeletons?
It's 30-foot radius and the tunnel is 40-foot.
It's a 40-foot radius.
Is it a 40-foot radius or a 40-foot diameter?
Hang on.
Yeah, that's important.
Hang on. Where's Fireball gone?
It's on your spell list under
It's
F.
a 20-foot radius, so it's a 40-foot diameter.
Cool. So you can get 70-foot
Big.
diameter.
It's big.
You can get about half. You can get about half the shaft. You can probably cover half the shaft. So
in fire.
You can make half the shaft fiery.
Sorry.
You really hate someone. You could catch where you think the big one, you can hear the footsteps of the big one. It's not trying to be stealthy at all, which you assume is a big one, you don't know. And you would catch some skeletons on that walkway, presumably, but you wouldn't be able to catch the ones closest to you.
I don't know. I'm going to roll.
It's up to you.
I will go for...
You just rolled. I mean...
I know. I didn't decide which one was which before I rolled, which is dumb.
Eyes are big, skeletons are low.
I know. Well, I rolled high, so I'll go for the big one.
Okay, so you're going to sort of aim it almost like above you, so like sort of blow up above you and potentially damage this big one. Dex save, right?
It is a dex save.
Well, that's a 3.
That failed. And some skeletons as well.
Yeah, there are a couple skeletons around it that I will also roll dex saves for. Dusty! Yeah, those are not good. Skeletons, they have terrible dex. All right. Boom.
Boom. Oh, wow. That is bad. That is bad fireball damage. That is 15.
Oh, it's terrible fireball damage.
There's all my 1s and 2s for the game.
Oh, there we go. We knew there was going to be one.
There
There's
it
going to
is.
be one roll that was terrible for you, and there it is. We found it. There is a large explosion above all of you, and everything is bathed in fire briefly. Dust and bits of bone rain down from above you as many skeletons are annihilated by this. You can also see, because it is its turn next, charging down this walkway around the outside, bones still singed and smouldering, is a gigantic skeleton. It looks like it's probably the skeleton of an ogre, since you've encountered one before. But yes, this one, who we're going to call Bonebreaker for no reason at all, is charging its way down the outside. Shivarith, you still have a bonus action and movement.
I don't have any bonus actions, but I'm going to move.
Cool, you can get 30 feet down to line up with... Are you going to go back into the tunnel?
No, I don't want to break no man's stealth. Just away.
Cool, so you go down towards where Coriolis is.
Just stealthing and then a big light.
Yeah.
Comes next to you.
Yeah, here comes the light.
So you... You make your way down the outside of the this area.
I probably wouldn't go 30 feet away,
Okay.
because I still want to be, like, in the thick of it, because I like being in the middle of things.
So Coriolis moved 30 feet down. Thomas and Halbernet are still there.
I'm just going 15 feet back because I'm dumb, and I just like being in the middle of things.
You're in the middle. You're literally halfway between Corey and the other two.
Yeah.
Cool. That is a choice. Right. The Bonebreaker is going to charge down this outside of this side. Just to be clear, there are plenty of skeletons there. It charges through them. They are knocked aside, thrown off down into the shaft, and it just... It's charging at full speed and is going to double its movement to dash.
I'm very displeased by this.
Bring in your own army if you're just going to kill them all.
Skeletons are knocked aside, and it is going to, with that much movement, because it is 80 feet when it dashes, is going to make its way down and is going to impact where Halbernet and Thomas are and may even keep going.
What?
Surprise.
Right, here's what we're going to do. As it charges towards Halbernet and Thomas, who are still just standing there going, oh dear.
Will somebody tell me that? Yeah.
As it comes into reach of these two and is going to try and charge straight through them, I'm going to roll some attack rolls.
Should have gone further back, really, shouldn't I?
Is it not my go first because I was holding my action?
Interesting.
Attack.
They are standing in the walkway and you are standing ready to attack out of the walkway. So for it to get there, it has to go through them first.
You're only going to know that it's there by the fact that we get knocked into.
That's fair.
Is that fair?
Unless
It
Thomas
sucks, but it's
shouts, incoming!
No, what I will say...
You guys would have had to have moved back first, wouldn't you?
No, what I will say is that even if, for example, it doesn't get to plow through these two, you will still be able to attack as it will be close enough by that point at the end of its turn. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So, it is charging.
How confident are you feeling about that shield wall now, Halbernet?
Absolutely.
Now, you said you wanted to brace?
At least as
I'm going to brace.
Do it.
What little it's going to do.
I mean, its bones are still, like, singed and smouldering from the fireball damage.
Oh, yeah.
Bones are all still there, though.
Yeah. Yeah. That was only a 12.
12 does not hit.
Oh, no.
As you try and strike out, are you trying to, again, be the sort of thing it trips on? Like, are you trying to do that sort of...
Yeah. I can technically occupy the same space as something. because I am small.
Exactly.
Oh, I see.
So
Are you small yet?
I think
Small.
it is going to, as it runs forward and as it attacks both of you, and as part of its charge, because it can charge through you, it will you will boom, like bounce off it as if it should do damage, but this is made of sterner stuff. It is hardier than all that. Right, to attack. Oh, it's my day. Halbernet, does a 25 hit you?
Oh, yes.
You take 13 plus 9. You take 22 points of bludgeoning damage and roll me a strength saving throw.
Ouch.
Do that first.
I'll use
Good
my
Lord.
reaction.
Oh, that's not bad. 16?
Cool. Now, roll me... what's the best way to do this? So, I think roll me a d6. On a 1 or 2, you are being flung outwards into the chasm. On a 3 or 4, you are being pushed further down the walkway. And on a 5 or 6, you're just bouncing off the wall.
Eyes.
That's a 6.
As it charges past, you just spin and bounce off the wall with a hefty hit. Probably part of the damage is from bouncing off the wall. And as you do, you sort of land behind it. It has charged past you. Thomas.
Okay, I regret not taking Featherfall.
Yeah!
No, I don't want to just fall.
Playing in a game where we all attack in straight lines. I won't need Featherfall, will I? You messed with the wrong DM. Good, right.
I don't think I said that. I think you said you have to take these specific spells and it used up all of my spell choices.
Hey, your character has spells in game. What can I say? Right. Thomas, does a 20 hit you?
Only just, actually.
As it happens. Just so you know.
You take... Roll the damn dice. There we go. You take... You take 18 points of damage. And make me a strength saving throw.
I regret all of the choices I made. All of the choices I made. I regret it.
No, like as soon as we enter combat, all of my dice rolls. So that's a 10 total for the strength saving throw.
Well, roll me a d6.
Oh no, that's fallen off. There.
Let's hope that's not a sign of things to come.
Fallen off the deck.
I've rolled a 1 and I also fell off.
Three.
Oh, yes. So,
You are kicked and just boom, go flying down the walkway and probably land near Corrie, just and probably some of the damage again taken is from the severe impact. Right. You both failed the strength check, so it is going to keep charging and it will just reach Shivara.
Oh no.
Now, Umblin, you get your attack as it goes past. Go for it.
yeah, so this walkway's 5 feet, right?
Correct.
I'm going to shove it off.
You're just going to shove it?
If it's, there's that tripwire that's meant to make us trip over the 5 feet gap.
Yep.
If I just shove it, it'll just fall down the hole.
Can you use... I mean, your held action was to attack it.
It's an attack action. It's a shove action.
I'm checking the rules, Niall. That's what I'm doing.
But it'd be the same as a grapple, wouldn't it?
Arguably,
Don't
yes.
grapple it.
No, I'm not going to grapple it. I'm going to shove it.
Arguably, yes. I'm intrigued as what I am. Can I hold an attack and shove?
Well, in fairness, I would have said shove if I'd have thought. That was my plan all along, was to shove it off the edge.
Using the attack action in which you have held, you can make a special melee attack to shove a creature, either to knock it prone or push it away from you. If you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, the action special ones. Now, there's other rule about shove.
I can shove it twice.
Well, you've only got one attack, haven't you?
I've got 2. Yes. I only have 1 because I've used. Yes.
You don't want your bonus action.
Okay, so
Yes.
shove sizes, because this thing is
Enormous.
bigger than
Good
you.
point.
Should I shove a creature one size larger than me and I succeed? Yes, rules written.
Yeah.
This is interesting. This is a nice rules conjunction. I like it.
You're welcome.
That's good. That's good. I like it.
That's what I bring to the game. Rules, Sally.
We're all on
Just let me
tenterhooks.
kill it. I want to one-shot your creature that you clearly spend a lot of time on and effort on. This session's built around. I just want to shove it up and kill it in one foul move.
Niall, I will let you shove it because you want to, and there's nothing in the rules that says you can't. However, it is one size category larger than you, which means you do it with disadvantage.
But it's surprise, so it's a straight roll. Because it didn't know I was there. I was
Rules lawyering of the
hiding.
finest kind.
Okay.
I thought about all this. I was like, I know.
It has a perception of -1. So
and I rolled a 28.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that you get to make a single shove, and we'll see what happens. So that's a contested grapple shove. So
yeah, I mean,
and you have to use
totally
athletics.
Could be strength. Yeah, and I'm proficient, but I'm not like amazing.
I've rolled my dice.
Okie dokie.
Artichoke.
Hello. Oh, I'm not proficient in athletics.
What's your strength mod?
It's +1.
Ooh, you're gonna have to roll real well.
Yeah, come on. Mama needs some new dice. You won't believe this.
Nat 20.
A 20 +1 is 21. Oh shit.
Skadoosh. Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm fair. You know this.
Can I 2-foot it? Like out of nowhere, just 2 feet come out of the darkness.
You're going to lariat kick it off the edge.
Straight up.
Okay.
Does the Wilhelm scream as it falls?
It can't make noise. It has no vocal cords. Describe what you do.
What Anna does.
Describe how you impact it. Because be aware,
Yes,
you are a small gnome. You are a small dwarf, and it is a big skeleton. So describe what you do. How do you hit it?
I think Nolan's been like waiting in the dark, and just like even the speed of this thing has caught her off guard. Like she's seen Hal just boom, and Thomas like pinball down the stairs.
Thomas got yeet.
And literally, just from that spot, finds it in her to just jump with just with her feet forward, and she just plants it straight into the rib cage of this ogre, and then tries to use the momentum to spring back onto the footing.
Shavara, you see this best because it's charging straight towards you.
Yeah, because I see certain death
As it
coming
charges
towards
towards
me.
you, and Nolan leaps out and just boom, bounces off it. It doesn't sort of go flying off the edge. It sort of keeps charging, but it's and it just becomes off balanced. And as it is getting towards you, it suddenly pinwheels over and goes flying down into the chasm past you. As it goes flying down, you can just see it fall away into the darkness. You do not hear the crash.
Oh.
It's a big hole.
About 10 seconds later, you hear the crash.
Awesome.
Is it a second every 10 feet? How does that work?
Technically, you fall 500 feet every 6 seconds in D&D terms.
There you go. So we're looking at about 1,200 feet.
And it's also not like sort of full, boom. It's a full, boom. Like it's a tiny little sort of. That sounds like it just hit something. Above you, there are still some skeletons on the walkway that weren't blasted aside, and there are more coming out. But we can say, if you like, that if you're all running and just making your way down and out, you're out of initiative. Because that was superbly dealt with.
That's like when you've leveled up too high at the start and you go into story mode and you kill the boss immediately and you're like, well, that was easy.
Next time, though.
Yeah, I mean, it all came around from throwing up. Not killing that goblin.
Final
on the window
expulsion.
ledge. Yeah, I finally, karma has reset.
That was beautiful.
It was
It
excellent.
was very cool.
And an excellent example of good rules lawyering as well. I appreciate it.
Yeah, what a time to get a natural 20.
I've fight my case.
Anyway, are the 5 of you just running away at this point? Because you can all make your way down. Do you want to keep running down? Do you want to turn into one of the side corridors? What are you doing?
likes to pick up some of my torches.
Sure. You
Still
are just
burning.
a light source that the skeletons can now follow.
Oh, I'll be like extinguishing them on the way
I
out,
see,
and I'll probably
yeah.
give one to Sheridan and one to Thomas.
Where are we
Do
going?
not need a
Where
torch.
are
I
we
have
going?
Why are you holding your
Yeah,
nose?
fair enough.
Next time I go flying, I want it to be because someone's cast a spell on me. Not
Yes,
because something's kicked me.
That was quite scary.
we're
Yeah.
fine though.
Where are you going?
Just what I was
Further
going to ask.
down, I guess.
You're gonna.
Let's keep going down. I want to get away
Yeah.
from those skeletons.
You will outpace the skeletons very quickly if you run, because skeletons are not fast.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright.
It's a really long day at work.
It's alright.
Oh, it's good.
Is there anything, like any sort of debris or anything we could leave in our way to just inconvenience
Oh,
them
nice.
further?
Yes, right.
If as you're running down, you look into the various tunnels that go off this space, they appear to go off and sort of vanish into the darkness. There's no torches in these tunnels either, but you can find sort of bits of rock and debris that you can sort of pull out to put in the skeleton's path. They are, I mean, by now you will be a good, 100 feet away from them, but if you just keep running down,
That's fine.
you can get away
Yeah,
from
they're
them.
probably not a problem, are they?
No.
Particularly.
But as you keep making your way down, do you just keep going down, 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 or do you look in any of the side tunnels? Do you pause? What's the plan?
I mean, is there any signs? that
Yeah.
sounds, you know what I mean? Like, just in case. Yeah.
Almanet says, we don't have any idea where we're going. Shivara, could you figure out if there's any magical source that isn't the skeletons?
Sure. Just give me 10 minutes.
10 minutes? All right, shall we go and deal with the skeletons then?
Look,
I mean-
it was in 10 minutes.
I could waste magical energy on it, or you could give me 10 minutes and I won't waste magical energy on it and I'll still be able to see it.
Can you do
Fine.
it while walking?
Yeah.
Then
I mean, you were doing it while
for
walking
10
before you were
minutes.
interrupted.
Yeah, we'll just walk for 10 minutes.
Where?
Down.
Down.
All right. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, sorry, I think I just missed something. So Shivara doesn't have to remain in the same place. We can all just walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can be casting a spell. You can be doing light activity as long as you stop running.
All right. I will just, and I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt because the lack of planning is irritating.
What are you casting Guiding Bolt at?
A plan, Chris. A plan.
Skeletons.
You're going to cast a Guiding Bolt at the skeletons, so you're going to hit one skeleton and just.
Just sacred flame it.
They're by now
Such
they're
a
a good
waste of a
like
spell
you know
slot.
they're quite a way above you. If
Actually,
you
no,
wanted to
sorry,
take
yes,
out
that's true,
skeletons,
that's true, that's
if you
true, sorry.
wanted, Ed,
Okay.
you could Guiding Bolt a wall to try and cause a cave in that would stop them from following you.
Nope.
and also run our
Us from
exit.
leaving. Yeah.
I
mean,
there is no
potato.
need. I thought that, yes, you're right. Using up a spell slot, that is not a good idea. Let's keep going.
You just keep.
However, Coriolis,
Oh my god!
just because
Oh, this is perfect. Yes, please do this. So, because if you'll allow, I will have just been going, as it were, like pointing the thing, and everyone just save your energy. We'll keep
Yeah.
going down the thing, and it's going to be absolutely fine. All right, we've got a plan. We're just going to go down, and if then Coriolis can fire.
really wants to know what the Wand of Wonder does completely, and so would like to try it again.
Are you going
Just in the
to?
middle of the skeletons.
So you're going to shoot it up. I mean, you can't really see them very well anymore because you've gone down the curve. But you can sort of aim it loosely above you in the general
Yeah,
direction
just-
of skeletons.
Yeah, just.
What?
Okay.
Okay, so that's an 88.
Okay.
How far away did you say they were?
They're probably, it's a 70-foot wide chasm, and they are, by this point, above you, so they're probably a good 120 feet away.
Okay, so this is not going to do anything, but I love it anyway. It's super on brand for the game. A stream of 1d4 times 10 gems, each worth 1 gold piece, shoots from the wand's tip.
We got our gems!
The hunt for gems is real.
Hang on,
In a-
1d4
Yes.
times 10.
1d4
Literally
times 10. Hold on.
Bouncing them in the
Roll a
middle
D.
of this hole.
Okay, so I only rolled a 1, but
So 10 gems.
so 10 gems. 10 gems spout from the wand in a line 30 foot by 5 foot. And if they hit any creature, which they're not going to, they may take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
That's insane. Why are you firing gems into the void?
I don't know, but I feel like they could use them. We should try and gather.
Please, can we go downwards now?
In Rashomon, you could probably buy, like, a cuff for that, maybe?
I don't care. I want to go downwards. Can we please follow the plan?
Can I just scoop up as many gems?
How? You shot them above you! They've basically gone in a thin stream and have sort of bounced randomly, and a couple of them are sort of like fall into
Are they
the hole.
blue?
Can I catch
Yes,
one?
they're all blue, and they're all worth about,
No, it's not physically possible.
They are the gems from Warriors of Waterdeep gems. That's what they are. They are those gems. You just generated 10 gems. You're welcome.
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, Stream Chat's getting way more than that at the moment. You'll only get 10.
Do they
just
get an
wanna
extra
catch
10
one.
gems just because that happened? Because that would be cool.
I mean, I'll ask.
Make it happen. Tweet at us roll together. Let us know whether or not you got a chest with 10 gems.
They're going to get way more than that. If you want gems, go and use the chest in chat. It's got way more than 10 gems in it.
Anyway,
I just want you to tweet me, DM me your gems.
The real question that I still need answering is, can I catch one? Please.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
20.
Please.
Waste of a 20. Such a waste of a 20.
What
Please,
is it?
I want it so much. Oh no! I'm really tempted to use a luck point.
And that one.
I rolled a 2.
suddenly that's the worst roll you can do.
I have Tides of Chaos.
Oh my
You're
god.
going to use Tides of Chaos to catch a gem?
Yes!
Okay.
That is so in character.
It's a nat 20!
That's twice we've had a 1 go to a natural 20 on a reroll. That is, well, 2, but that's...
You catch one of
crazy.
these faintly glowing blue gems. Congratulations.
I can't fight against this joy, this innocent joy that is radiating from you, Anna. This is absolutely incredible.
Are you all keeping running down the corridor?
Yes.
Sorry, the corridor.
We're walking.
Detect magic.
You're walking because you're walking and talking. Curious, you've got a gem. It's worth one. It's
Thomas
worth
is walking
one gold. You're
next
welcome.
to Thomas is walking next to Shivareth, making sure that he is between her and the chasm while she is concentrating.
Wise, very wise. As the 5 of you make your way down, are you stealthing in any way? Are you trying to be careful?
No, at this stage, Halbernet is really not. He's clunking his way down there as fast as he can go.
They can go.
They can go, I beg your pardon.
Can I stealth whilst casting?
No.
Yeah, that seems unreasonable. I'm probably explaining to Thomas exactly what I'm doing because I think it's really interesting, and you're welcome to not find it interesting, but I'm telling you anyway.
He's probably just like, okay, sure.
And when I draw this one here, that completes this circle here, you see? And I'm like creating this glyph in the air slowly.
Ooh. Well, that's
I'm
great.
so overjoyed by everything that's happened in the last 10 minutes. There were gems. Halbernet is having a terrible day.
Breakdown because of everything.
Thomas and Shivareth are having a shipping moment, even though we've just had a battle. It's all going on. I'm just so overjoyed.
Would you mind terribly if in the next battle I sort of touched you on the shoulder to cast a spell? It's a good spell. It's not a bad spell.
Okay. I suppose it would depend on what the spell was. I mean,
It sort of makes you feel like you've had a lot of coffee. Like a lot of coffee.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of coffee.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Surely you've touched each other's shoulder before.
No.
Well, I mean, technically, in the fight against the before the fire giant fight, the bait and switch, Thomas literally just like, "Ugh," like
Yeah.
That's like combat necessity. It's good to ask.
Not saying you shouldn't ask. Cool, right. As you make your way down, you're not running anymore, you are walking. The sounds of skeletal sort of occasionally behind you, but you're definitely getting away from them. As you make your way down...
Do I get anything on the detect magic?
Yeah, I'm about to describe it.
Okay.
But, you know...
Flavor.
Maybe I won't.
Sorry.
Maybe you don't.
Do your description.
As you make your way down, Shivareth, you concentrate and cast Detect Magic, and you can get the School of Magic and the direction. Yes?
Yes, I imagine that for Shivareth, it looks kind of like radar. So anything...
So they're coming out of the walls? So,
so anything that's magic has like little like pinging lines across it. Like it's like looking at a map, you know, like with like what are the lines called that show you what hills are?
Yes.
Contour lines.
Contour lines, yes, you
Yeah.
can see the contour lines.
Okay.
But those are magic, like it's bright green and everything else is black.
Okay.
Why
Sorry.
did you look at me like that? Was the weirdest thing I've ever said.
I'm trying to work out how to describe what this is in the context you just gave. The walls, the floor, every piece of unworked stone in here is pinging.
Isn't supposed to do that.
The magic you are getting from it is... Hang on, Schools of Magic. It's not abjuration. It's got elements of conjuration and elements of transmutation. There we go.
So everything in here is magic.
What?
Every little thing in here is magic. Right.
That doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? The whole place?
Like, yeah, the walls, the floor.
In a bad way, or it's just
Evelyn.
there in a way.
Sort of
What's going on?
transmuting. Conjuration is when you make things. Transmutation is when you change things. So, it could be that it was made magically, or that it was made and then changed. I don't know. Can I roll an Arcana check?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say with my stone cutters, what's its face?
Stone cunning.
As a dwarf.
There's the
yes,
natural one.
Aha.
What was your question?
They come around.
Was that just no natural one?
Oh,
yeah,
is that what that was?
'cause-
Oh!
Yeah.
It's not much better. It's a 7. So 15.
What was your question?
What?
Um,
What was the question? Why were you rolling?
I rolled an Arcana check
on the stone.
on what I'm seeing.
Oh, right. Look around you. Sorry, couldn't help it. That
was good.
Conjuration magic and being underground. Conjuration magic, yes, it has to do with summoning things. It also has to do with other planes of existence. So you could potentially draw a conclusion there that this may be a connection to another plane of existence. And transmutation would imply that this stone has been changed or is changing.
I mean, I suppose we could be on another plane of existence, but it seems unlikely.
Another plane?
Would we not have noticed?
No, if we entered into...
I mean, we have an expert.
Yeah. Can I have a little history check
Corey's the
into this?
expert, you
I was
numpty.
gesturing to
Oh,
Corey.
no, I was like, I'm of the kind of stone. I was like, yeah.
Sorry.
Corey is oblivious to this and also thinks you mean Naimlin.
Oh,
Okay.
Corey, you went to another plane of existence.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
I mean, this doesn't look like where I went.
Well, no, I don't think we're in the astral sea.
Well then,
How
no,
did
I
you?
don't
How
have
did you?
anything to add.
What did it feel like when you went there, and did it feel like walking down this hole did?
Can I have a little think about how to accurately answer that question? I don't know whether that's a history check.
History check. What was the astral sea like? Is it the astral sea or a hole in the ground?
I'm not asking if it's the astral sea. It's clearly not the astral sea. I don't need Corey to answer that question.
I rolled a 5, so I think I'm still distracted by the glory of the gem, but I then look up and see Shabara's really disapproving face and think, okay, I'll try again. And I spend a
I'm
luck
not disapproving.
point.
Genuinely interested in what you have to say.
It's just all four of us are just like,
I'm going to spend another luck point.
Oh no!
No.
It's not this important.
No, No, but I feel like it's important. I've just been called an expert and now I'm failing.
Oh, this is so on brand. It's gorgeous.
It's a dirty 20!
I mean, you spent 2 luck points, yeah, fine. Looking...
Take it.
Hey, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the Astral Sea. You're welcome.
Do I feel anything remotely similar to how I felt when I transported from one plane to another?
No.
Yeah.
No, actually, that is more helpful than we might imagine, I think.
Yeah, we're not in a different plane.
Good to know.
It's worth 2 luck points. That was definitely worth 2 luck points.
It was only one luck point for that particular thing.
I think you spent 2.
No, well, it's the
No,
gem.
I spent 1 on another thing.
Still completely worth it, yeah.
Can I now use my stone cunning to try and figure out if I know anything about this rock?
Please.
Yeah, mate, go for it. What does Stone Cunning give you?
Essentially, it doubles my proficiency bonus for history checks. So it's just a +6 to my roll.
What is your proficiency? No, it doubles your proficiency bonus for history checks. Do you have proficiency on history checks?
No. That's a good point. No, that is a very good point.
Pretty sure that's what that means. I'm going to check, because
No, you're considered proficient in the history skill when I get the
I'm Stone Cunning. How so? Still know nothing about stone. Roll me a history.
They're very cunning creatures, stones.
Roll me that history check. Come on.
Bada bing. So an 18 plus 6 is a 24.
Neomlen, you're a dwarf. You know about stone.
Always stone, bro.
No,
that's me.
As you look at as you sort of look at this stone, this unworked stone wall, look at the rest of the mine. You remember a fairy tale from your childhood. One that your father told you. And in that story, the mine beneath the keep is alive. And it protects the people of your clan.
Mm.
And it offers its secrets to them. This may very well be living somehow.
Now I'm gonna nervously touches the scar on her eye, but she's kind of remembering this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then she turns to you guys and puts on a bit of a brave face, says, I think that we'll be okay. But the rock is kind of a friend.
What?
And then she looks at you very almost dismissively. It's it's a dwarf thing, and then turns around and continues going downstairs.
Friend, can you make friends with rocks now? How is this? Oh, all right.
She she continues she's walking down. She continues on. She's the stone is alive, and it's
the whole mine. Oh, good lord!
But it's meant to be helping us, so we'll be okay.
Can you connect with it?
No.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
She's saying no. She's
no.
That's very.
Have you tried?
Yeah.
Roll a deception check.
I touched the stone.
You touch the stone?
Okay.
You reach out and touch the wall.
It's a wall.
The wall is cold.
It's stone. Yeah.
So not that alive then.
No, she turns and she stops. She's it's alive in the sense that it's magical, I guess.
It's definitely magical, for sure.
Right. Is that what Thomas is doing?
Yeah, he was pointing at the sparkles that Shavara made.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at the skeletons that were going to come still with the bang. And
Oh, no, that was the... Yeah, we knew that, because the sparkly thing showed us it was magic.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, let's not stop for too long, but do we know where we can go? Can it guide us somewhere?
No, and then turns around and continues walking downstairs.
Amazing.
You continue walking down. Down.
Maybe.
She is the worst, isn't she?
She's the best. She's the best. I love everything about her.
Maybe it's just been a while since you've been here, so maybe in a bit you could try, and maybe, I don't know, you just need to take some time to get to know the stone again.
Maybe need to let it know who you are.
Carve his initials into it. Why are we just talking about making friends with rocks?
Carve her initials into it.
She brought her family's brand. I mean, why would she have that if not for precisely this? I mean, we all know coincidences are not a thing.
Very well.
I mean, I just feel like maybe I'm meant to find the anvil. Anyway, onwards. She changed then. Who was that?
Yeah, that was suddenly Halmanet coming through.
Hey, onwards!
I think she's just nervous. I think that she genuinely says onwards and continues to
Everyone
go.
looks at each other. That doesn't sound like, oh well. And then, yeah. How far down
Would
have we gone now?
anyone like to roll me an insight check?
On what?
I'm not going to tell you unless you decide to roll it.
Yes.
I'm going to decide to roll it.
I'll roll one. Why not? Any chance to roll these beautiful dice?
22.
22.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Oh, what's mine?
I've lost it. I've lost all luck. It's gone.
What have you got?
Oh, 10.
Oh, nice.
It was just...
A respectable 15.
Edward.
Oh, 19.
22 is the highest.
Mm-hmm.
Shivareth, where, as you all turn to go, you still got light around you because you cast light on your shoulder, that's still going. Where Naomlin touched the wall, you swear you see like a small indentation and then...
I mean, that is exactly what I expected to see. So...
Oh, what? Okay.
But I don't think she's ready.
What? Why does everyone know things? What's going on?
Wizards being wizards, that's what that is. That's wizards going, I understand.
Oh, that's infuriating. Right.
There was a comic when I was a kid where it was basically a Gandalf figure, and it wasn't meant to be Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, where everyone would go, but why is that thing happening over there? So they're going, I know. But why is it, Gandalf? What is it? Magic. What does that mean?
Infuriating person.
Why do you think I asked her to touch the wall?
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. Magic. Anyway,
My wall now.
as you make your way down this corkscrew around the outside of the shaft, eventually it opens out, i.e. the corkscrew at the end stops because there has been a cave-in, almost like a sinkhole, and below you is darkness and you can hear the dripping of water.
How much further down to the bottom do we think we've got?
Those of you
right
with,
down to the bottom?
Those of you with the dark vision cannot see the bottom.
Okay.
Maybe a light stone to see if there's a pool of water that we might be able to.
Sure. I pick up another
What are we
stone,
imagining we're going to find?
cast light on it, and yeet.
Down with the kids.
About 100 feet below the bottom of this, and the light has cast, there is a lot of water. It looks like a natural cavern. There are quite a few stalactites and stalagmites. It looks like a natural formed, almost like limestone cavern. And it appears that this shaft broke into it at some point, though whatever was below it that maybe allowed them to access further below is long gone. Where the stone has hit the water, you do see some sort of bits of metal look like pulley systems and so on, but it's all collapsed a long time ago. Any wood would have long gone as well, obviously.
We use our ropes, we can make a little rope climb.
100 feet. Oh, well, last time.
I got 50 foot.
No.
I don't have any at all, as we established last time.
I've got some.
Nice.
You could tie off 2 ropes, and then you'd be able to climb down into the water. Where the stone has blunk hit it, it has sort of. There's enough water that if you fell in, you wouldn't hit the bottom, so it is safe to jump down if you felt inclined. There are obviously some bits where it would be less safe, so you'd have to aim pretty carefully. But
straight on the stalagmite.
Exactly. That was the end of your adventure. What I would say is that if you were climbing down and you fell, it is not the end of the world. You will not die immediately.
Oh.
But if we need to get back up, it'd be quite nice to have that option.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can always use the climbing kit to get back up regardless. But
it would be quite difficult because it would be climbing up, like there's no sort of wall nearby. It's open out into like the centre of this cavern almost, so you'd have to climb across a ceiling to get back up here.
I'm pro the rope plan.
There are, if you look around, Nelman has a passive of 19, so I'll just give you this. There are sort of what looks like the leftover remnants of metal pulley systems that were in the wall, so there are plenty of outcroppings to tie a rope onto, but all of the pulleys and everything are long gone.
Given that what you did to that skeleton was very impressive, but what it did to me and Thomas, I think, needs to be attended to, if you'll give me a moment. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on us both. I would say.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn to Corey and be like, hey, split the gems when we get down there. Very quietly.
Split the one gem.
No, the rest of them fell down. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Ed, as your friendly neighborhood DM, I think Prayer of Healing, if you have it, is better in this scenario.
I do.
Yeah, because it only uses one spell slot and cures both of you. It takes 10 minutes to cast, but you're in no rush right now.
Well, that's what. So,
Other people can tie a rope.
Well, exactly. Whilst you're doing that, I will make sure that we are. Is everybody? Because yes, that Prayer of Healing is amazing.
It is. Because it takes 10 minutes to cast. That's why.
Yes. So six creatures. So everybody gets back. Oh, good lord! 20 points of healing.
Tasty.
You add a lot onto those, so yeah, 20 points.
Yeah, that's great.
Who's tying the rope?
It's me and Corey, I guess.
Please.
Shivareth could help you.
Rushing down to get those gems.
Oh, right, okay. You have ulterior motive, I see you.
I'm not going to tie a rope, but I will loiter nearby.
Sure, no problem. One of you...
I'm not going to tie a rope because I don't think I would tie a rope well, not because I feel it's beneath me.
One of you roll a sleight of hand check with advantage to tie the rope.
Yours is definitely better than mine.
My sleight of hand is a bit naughty.
Naughty.
Oh, wow, that was a close one. Rolled from a 1 to a 17. 28.
Sure.
Of your finest sleight of hands.
You tie your rope expertly and well with the right sort of knots so that you can... The 100 feet of rope will lend to the bottom. You haven't used a huge amount of it to tie it off. So there is now a climbing rope that leads down into this pool of water. You can't sort of... You can see... Hang on. How are we seeing the bottom here? Oh, light. There was a pebble. The light pebble is still glowing at the bottom of this pool of water, but it doesn't reach the surface of it, so you can't see any edges or anything like this.
Is my spellbook waterproof?
Yes.
I would like to jump in.
You can jump in the water?
Yeah.
Okay. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Love the idea that we made this rope, and as soon as it's tied, it's like, right, ready to go.
Shivareth just Pocahontas off the...
Ah, yeah.
Rolled really bad. I've rolled a 5.
She seemed nice.
You rolled a 5.
I'm going to enjoy it anyway. I think Shivareth has a daredevil side. Like, she's an evoker. She goes in for all the big bang stuff. I think the joy of like jumping off a 100-foot ledge into a pool of water is something she literally cannot resist.
Amazing. What do you do? Oh. I'm going to have a heart attack with you people.
Right. Shivarith leaps off. None of you can see Shivarith properly.
Get that rope done.
It's done.
Is it
done.
Okay, Thomas is going down the rope.
Okay, Thomas, roll me an athletics check.
14.
You're making your way down. It's going to take some time.
Sorry, I didn't intend to make such a chaotic wizard.
Nail is just gonna whilst Thomas is going slowly down this
So much better at
100-foot
climbing
rope.
than this.
Yeah, I think Nail is just gonna shout down "You okay?"
Shivarith, you hit the water, but you don't hit at that point where it is deepest, so you do bounce slightly off the bottom. You crack your hip. You take 8 points of damage as you land.
Yeah, that's fine.
Water does cushion your fall, but it's not as bad as it could have been.
Smash that bum bone.
A bit. Yeah.
Steady.
That again, that's a literal thing that you can do. All
Break
right,
your
guys,
coccyx,
get your
yeah,
heads
it's a
out the
thing.
gutter.
Break your coccyx, yeah.
Oh,
Disgusting.
if you're gonna jump in,
Oh, no. Oh, no. You think you have words to say. As you hit the
there's
bottom
something in
and
there,
crack
isn't
your
there?
hip, you get a view of the bottom of this underground
God.
lake.
Did I
Your
only
s-
take verbal spells?
Your stone is still glowing. The bottom of it is festooned with debris, a lot of very waterlogged and damaged wood that looks like it was some kind of contraption, which is how people got down from this point to go further and deeper. And there's quite a lot of dead dwarves down
Oh
here.
God.
Oh,
And as you hit the bottom and bounce off and go, ooh, well, I should probably get back up to the surface, a hand
Yeah.
reaches up and grabs your leg.
Oh, good.
And that's what we're going to pick up next time.
I just hit the deck.
Elegantly put. I think I've got one of those. I've never done it though myself.
I think I can still cast a fireball underwater.
We'll come to it next time. Anyway.
That's brilliant. Just boil away the
Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. What a fun session that was. Wasn't it, everyone? Wasn't it?
That was awesome.
Very elegant.
Anyway, join us next week when we continue through the Frostsilver mines. And, yesterday was the grand finale of Glimfalls on Baldur's Gate as well.
Oh no, I'm so sad. I love tricks.
Well, this is what happens. Anyway, join us next week for episode 5 of Anvil of Dumathoin as they continue through Frostsilver mines, and for the first episode of something completely different. More on that very soon, no doubt. Anyway, we play on Mondays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. GMT, which is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's the new show starting on Monday. And on Tuesdays, we are currently playing Anvil of Dumathoin, which is on from 7 p.m. GMT till 10 p.m. GMT, which is 11 a.m. Pacific time till 2 p.m. Pacific time, and all times in between. Anyway, that's all of our... Oh, we also have a chat show, Talk Together, run by the lovely David Shields, which... I know I was on last weekend. I can't remember who's on this weekend. It's time. But yes.
Timey-wimey.
Timey-wimey. There'll be someone on this weekend, and you should definitely listen to them talk about D&D. It's marvelous.
Also more gems.
Might be you, Ed. I can't remember.
Is it?
Good. I'm pretty sure.
Glad to
You should probably let Ed know if that's the case.
It doesn't matter. I'll turn up. I think.
We're recording it in the week. Check our calendar. Anyway, if you want to watch any of our shows, they are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. And you can find podcast versions of all our shows. Just search your podcasting app of choice for Roll Together RPG. Thank you so much to the wonderful Ludi for letting us make a streamed game of their lovely Warriors of Waterdeep, which featured fewer environmental traps and holes to fall into. But this is my creative take on it, and I think I'm very proud of it.
So they have gems.
There were gems.
There were gems.
There were gems.
There were gems, so we did what we wanted to do.
There was a trap. It was a trap specifically for me. It was a hole that was jumpable.
I have an ongoing tradition, in home games in particular, where I've said to Emma before, I put things in there because I know full well that you will poke it, prod it, eat it, jump into it, whatever. It's gonna happen.
I literally just realised now, I was like, oh god, you put that there knowing that I would jump into it. You knew I would be the one who did it.
You resisted for so long. You waited for the rope to be made before you jumped in. I really respect that.
I mean, this is a complete segue, and we're probably over time, but I don't care. I'll share this one. In Rime of the Frost Maiden, which is the D&D book from last year, there is, in the opening chapter, there is literally a bit where there's an item that if you go and touch it, it disintegrates you, and then you are a ghost next to it, trying to tell people how to get them back because your spirit won't pass on. And guess who touched it? Guess who touched it?
Every time. Amazing.
Anyway, a massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. Thank you so much for helping us make the shows that we do. And a massive thank you to all of our sponsors and supporters. Don't forget, we're on all social media as Roll Together RPG. Join us next week, or join us on Saturday, or join us whenever you can. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Ciao. Bye.